97.
I know, I'm old.
Dude, you're young as I was born 5 years before you.
Yeah, well, I've probably got more grey hairs than you at the moment.
You reckon?
I reckon, yeah.
Being unemployed and going on holiday every 2 weeks.
Well, drinking and partying for a month has definitely added some grey hairs, I think. Not that I'd like to admit it, but that's just how the world works.
Dude, I think training hard gives you grey hairs as well.
Yeah, I'd say so. Lack of sleep. I was doing it on shift work, which is definitely far from ideal, but don't know, just sort of once you got a goal, it's pretty easy to keep working, eh?
Dude, just getting lost in like, I have a date that I need to do this performance by and just training towards that.
Yeah. It was weird because like I've always done sports or got into sports once I know I could be good at it.
Yep.
Triathlon, I had no idea. Like, I'm not saying I'm good at it at all. Like, I'm the most average triathlete ever when you compare it. Well, it depends where you compare it to. But
yeah, I was going to say, if you compare it to the average Joe, you're like an animal.
Yeah, well, so it was weird. I never thought in my life I'd ever get into triathlon. I hated cross country when I was a kid, and that did not interest me at all. I was motocross and anything that didn't involve anything that didn't involve cardio, that was me. I was
interesting. You're a motocross kid.
Yeah, through and through. Grew up.
What bikes have you been on?
Grew up on a P-Way 50. Then I got a KDM 65. Then I got a CRF 150. Rode a Husky 510 for a bit, and then had a CRF 450.
Wow.
Yeah, so rode them from 4 years old till I was about 20, I reckon. So not that long ago. Yeah.
That's nuts. Completely. I was thinking about this because I'm like, how well do I know Hamish? I don't at all.
Yeah. No, I've had a few hobbies, but yeah, motocross is like, I still, like, you know, when people talk about you get the itch, or like you go down to a sport you haven't played for a while and you get the itch to go back. Like motocross that's for me. Like, as in, that's my itch big time. I can't walk past a motorbike shop without looking in there, or like even as soon as the new bikes drop, I like just have a browse, see how much they cost. Like, I'm obsessed. Yeah, but I don't have a bike at the moment, and I won't get one for a while. Like, I was very fortunate to grow up on a farm setup. So my motorbike track was 100 meters from the house. So I'd turn the motorbike on, let it warm up.
Off you go.
Out the shed, onto the motorbike track. So now the thought of having a motorbike in a shed, loading it up on the back of a ute, driving it.
It sucks.
Yeah. So that, for me, hopefully one day I have a little farm that I can get a motorbike again. But that's my itch big time.
That's crazy. It's funny actually, because if somebody said, oh, you know, like Hamish motorbikes, like you do come across as a motorbike type of dude.
Even in lycra and shaved legs.
No, that's how I know you. I know you as like,
well, that's, you know, complete flip.
Cyclist 10.
Yeah.
Rocking a bloody long black. You know what I mean? Like the whole, but I guess there's a few boys like Austin Ridley. He went from motorbikes downhill to now road cycling.
And he shreds on the enduro. He's like, he'd be top 4 or 5 enduro mountain bike riders in the state, I reckon.
Dude's an animal.
Yeah, he's an animal. Yeah,
he's. I didn't really have much. I was pretty intimidated by motocross most of my life.
Yeah,
like, I've grown up on Harleys. For some reason, I'm intimidated by dirt bikes. So don't ask me why. But when I sort of got involved with Austin, I was like sponsoring, supporting. I was giving him black ink stuff, and he like had me on his plastics and all that.
Yeah, sick.
And that was like the year that he won his division, the overall. He won like
he had a real good spell there. I remember seeing it all on Instagram.
Yeah, and then like the next year, he's like, not doing motorbikes, getting into cycling. And I remember I went to a couple of his downhill events. I'm like, no wonder this guy slaps. It's because you guys are used to throwing around 15 kilos. Yeah. He's used to throwing around like 150 kilos.
I think those sorts of guys have got to be a bit unhinged, eh? Because I transitioned from motocross to downhill and raced downhill for like 7-8 years and won like state championships, went and raced in New Zealand and Canada. Like my dad took me there. That was the most amazing experience ever. But I wasn't unhinged, eh? I wasn't like the top guys. The top guys were, even though I won my division or whatever, I'd still only be like 12th in elite or whatever. I wasn't unhinged. I was always calculated. Whereas you see the guys that win,
they're ready to die.
Yeah. And I just knew that it wasn't me. Like, I didn't have it in me to be that guy. Eh?
That's interesting. That's interesting.
In self-reflection, like when I was younger, I thought like, oh, I'm state champion. I'm decent.
Yeah.
But then you go and race over east or see the times that some of the other boys are putting up. It's
get a bit disheartened.
Yeah. Well, maybe when I was younger, I probably got disheartened, and now on reflection, like it's good to just be like, I wasn't that guy. Like that, I wasn't cut out to do that, as in to be that off-hinge guy.
Are you an only child?
I'm an only child, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
All right. You and I got some stuff in common there. So you've had a pretty elite sports background growing up, but you didn't really perceive yourself as an athlete in the beginning of it.
Yeah, naturally gifted, which is probably the worst thing that you could be, because then you don't work hard.
You just rely on talent.
Yeah. And I'm definitely not the most talented guy, but I could always just pick something up and do it. Whereas, I don't know, some people that are only good at one thing, you just see them become absolute animals.
Yeah. Yeah, they get lost in the nuance, and then all of a sudden they become like an expert, and through the practice of being an expert, typically you become the best.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So you've also being an only child, which means that when you did decide on a sport, then you had all the energy focused on you being good at that thing.
Yeah, no, I grew up pretty lucky. Yeah. If I wanted something, I was lucky enough to get it. There wasn't fighting with my brother and whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I grew up, I didn't, like people say like, oh, was that weird growing up? Like I don't know any different.
Yeah.
But one thing, like I'm not good with like babies and stuff, eh? Like
yeah, that'll come. You'll get that.
Yeah, it will come. And now my stepsister and her partner just had a kid 2 days ago. So I'm now an uncle, like a fresh uncle. And on my other side, I'm an uncle as well. But it was cool to see all that happen and speak to them about it. It's cool. Like you just realise life's more important than you. You've got a little grommy now to look after. But
yeah, that whole side of, well, yeah, for the sake of the listener, so much of my podcast is about trying to be a parent and asking parental shit. And because I don't know what it is, man. Like I don't know if you know much about the story, but I had a vasectomy when I was 20, like early 20s.
Yeah.
And then, you know, just
why did you do that? Just your partner at the time, or?
You know, like I had a couple serious relationships before that, and they didn't pan out how I thought they were going to.
Yeah.
And I was always like, you know, live fast, die young.
Yeah.
Just be cool, you know, 27 club, white lighter, right pocket type shit.
Yeah.
And then I like live past 27 and you're like, fuck.
I'm not dying.
Yeah, I'm not dying. And in actual fact, I'm not even at the cool part yet.
Yeah.
You know,
well, that's what they reckon. That's what everyone tells me. I'm not even close to the cool part yet.
Dude, okay, we'll circle back. I was at an age where like I was having these situations where I was like, all right, I'm seeing people my age get pregnant and then all of their options disappear. And I was correct to think that at that time of life, when your options disappear and you're 22, 23, it's horrible. Yeah. It's life-changing. And obviously, like, you know, you love the outcome and rah-rah and having a kid's the best thing.
Changes
like,
your priorities,
who cares at that age?
Yeah.
And then I had a couple, I had two in a row. I had two chicks tell me like, oh, if I got pregnant, like I would keep it if it was yours.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, cool. All right, we're playing with guns.
That's not happening. Let
me take all the bullets out and you can play with guns as much as you want.
That makes sense.
Did that. And then, you know, had another serious relationship or two, and then ended up meeting Riz. And like when I told Riz, it was like, never get married, never having kids. This isn't a relationship. Like we just keep hanging out until we don't want to hang out. And then when we don't hang out, cool, no one's hurt.
Right, that's interesting.
And then we did that for like 3 years, 4 years. We were in a rental together and like had a moment sort of like, I think it was on a send one night. I'm like, I think we're in love. Hey,
wow.
You know, we're living in the same house and like, we don't see anyone else and this is pretty cool. I really like you, like, you know. And then it just sort of trickled from there. You're like, oh, well, if I'm in a relationship, you know, well.
Yeah, exactly.
As the story goes, I was, you know, 90 Day Fiancé?
The movie?
The TV show?
Nah.
90 Day Fiancé.
Oh, sorry. Yes, I do.
The TCL.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they get the
90 Day K1 visa.
Yeah.
So I'm like ripped, stoned watching that. And I'm like, man, these guys should never get married. All these relationships suck. If anyone wants to get married, it would. Oh, it's actually probably like the situation I'm in, like, because we really like each other. We want to make a commitment to each other. Like, that sort of makes sense, you know? And literally, like, from that moment, it was like, just makes sense.
Yeah.
Spoke to my mum and dad about it the next day. Like,
that's cool.
Individually, I was like, fuck, I think I'm going to ask her to marry me. And then bought a ring in the absolute peak of my like debt, not making money, business sucks, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, but when the time's right, I think it's right, eh?
And then once we got engaged, I was like, if anyone wants to have kids, it'd be us, right?
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
it just starts happening. And then, then I got the vasectomy reversal about like 18 months ago now.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah. Yeah, it sucks. And one thing they don't tell you, so you can get a vasectomy, right? So it's real simple. Like you've got, a tube that comes from where the swimmers are made to where the swimmers need to end up, and they cut that tube. That's a vasectomy.
They cut and burn it or something, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what they used to do is like tie them into knots. And then the problem is if you've tied this into a knot and tied that into a knot, when you cut those knots off and go to rejoin it in a reversal, it's so short.
Yeah.
So it creates like kicked in the nuts pain.
Yeah.
So what they do now is they like cut one. Now where it comes from, they put gauze in the top and they just let that sort of bind over. And then the other part, they just let it roam around. Right?
Yeah, okay.
So when they put it back together again, what the body does is realize that this has been severed and connected, and it actually creates an antibody protein, I think it is.
Okay.
The antibody proteins then wrap themselves around the swimmers. Yep. The problem is that antibody stops the swimmers from being able to penetrate the wall of the egg, and it also is quite sticky, so the antibodies will make all these swimmers group together, so it makes it harder for them to travel up the fallopian tubes. And then if they get to the egg, it makes it extremely hard
to get in.
There
you go.
So just use condoms is my first bit of advice.
Yeah.
And the second thing is we've had to go through IVF and all the bullshit, which I'm sure you're familiar with. And that's because, even naturally, it's like, cool, I have swimmers that leave my body now they didn't before. Right. Cool. But they're still not.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Okay, very interesting.
They told me that, I probably would have thought about it a bit longer.
Yeah. But you think you know everything when you're young, eh? Like when you're 23, 22, you think you know.
The problem is, I think I know everything now.
Yeah. I get that a little bit. I'm definitely a more learn-it-all, not a know-it-all now.
Yeah.
But I think when you're younger and you're a guy, like most people think they got it figured out.
Yeah, for
and then
sure.
2 years later, you realise I got no idea. But then you think you got it figured out 2 years later.
All right, guys, let's take a little break. If you're looking for some financial advice that is actually personal to your situation, is practical to your life, and is built around the goals that you and your family have set, you're going to want to talk to the team at Koombana Financial. They help individuals and families in the Southwest with superannuation, investments, retirement planning, and personal insurance. Now, I personally dealt with Koombana Financial and found the results to be very satisfactory. I find that it's handy having someone on your team in the financial part of your life. So, if you're keen to get some professional advice around your financial goals, get in touch with the team at Koombana Financial today to book your free initial chat. You can find their contact information in the description below, or you can jump on www.koombanafinancial.com.au. And don't forget to tell them that Jake from the Black Ink podcast sent you. And now, back to the podcast.
I'm sure when I'm 30, I'll be like, wow, 28-year-old Hamish knew absolutely nothing. But
yeah, but it's the same thing as you're meant to be quite liberal when you're young and conservative when you're old. That's the life cycle of someone, right?
Yeah. Yeah. IVF, that's what my dad and mum do for a job, hey? For a quid. Yeah, on cows. They're both vets.
Wow. All right.
Well, so dad's a qualified vet, and then when dad and mum met when I was younger, well, before I was born, dad just took mum under his wing and showed her everything, and then they were like the best two in the state, or dad was like the best in the country, yeah. And
wow.
When I used to go out to farms, and I'd just take my KTM 50 out there, and I'd have all these farmers tell me that, dad's the best breeder in the country or whatever. I used to think like,
yeah, who cares?
Like they're sucking him off. Like,
yeah.
Who, like, yeah, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
And then when I heard it from my stepdad, this is all after they broke up and everything, I heard it from my stepdad say it, and I went, okay.
Must be pretty good.
Must be like, and that, like they don't hate each other or don't get along or whatever. They're just, for someone to say that's in that situation.
Of course.
Yeah. But like my dad used to breed all of my stepdad's cows, which is super weird. Small country town. Dad was a vet. My stepdad's a dairy farmer. Used to do a lot of work for each other. Yeah. So
they're he's in artificial insemination of cattle.
Yeah.
Right. So what does that entail? Do you know much about the process?
Long story short, dad lives with his hand up a cow's ass.
Yeah.
But
the real long gloves, eh?
Yeah, long gloves. Pretty much they take the eggs out of the cows, out of the female, I believe, and catch the semen from a bull. So they get like a dummy cow. It's quite funny. Well, quite funny to watch. They put a dummy cow in a crush and they get the bull to jump up and then right before it goes in, you got to put a catcher on. Wrong term, but catcher. And then they freeze
it's like a fleshlight, eh?
Yeah, it's like a big fleshlight for a big cow dick, really.
This is too big for me.
Big bull's dick, yeah. So, and then they freeze it and it goes into like little straws. So Dad will, under the microscope, he'll pull out one semen and then put it in a straw, and then it goes into a big canister of liquid nitrogen.
Yep.
And it can sit there for
forever.
I don't know how long, but a long time.
Yep.
And then when they want, Dad will put the egg in the semen and then put it in a straw, I think, and then he puts the straw back into the female when they're.
Wow.
Yeah. And then he'll do pregnancy testing, and he can pregnancy test a cow with the accuracy of a couple of weeks. Hey, so you like reach in and you feel the uterus. Yeah, I believe this is all coming from an electrician, not.
Yeah, you put the embryo in the uterus.
Yeah. So he can feel it and say, oh yeah, 3 weeks pregnant.
Wow.
Whatever. But then so it's all about success rate as well. Like you might put in 100 straws and only get 50 out, or depending how good you are and whatever. But yeah, so he has a really high success rate, and he's done it his whole life. Hey, he's a qualified vet. He's actually a doctor, and he's never written me a sick note, but I should have used that more in school, I reckon. Dr. Richard.
We got to get onto that after the podcast, I think.
Yeah, it's cool. It's real interesting. But I just grew up like that was normal. Go travel 2 hours to a farm on a weekend and bum around whilst Dad AIs cows. And he's still working now. He's one of those blokes, as soon as he
stops work, he'll die.
Probably, yeah. And if he doesn't die, he'll just go mad in boredom. Like even though he likes riding bikes and surfing and that, I think he'll still go mad. Hey,
he'd be responsible for a crazy amount of cattle then. Hey,
yeah, I would hate to know the numbers. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, he's got works with some really big clients, really big. He mainly does Angus, so like beef.
Okay.
But yeah, he's worked in China doing it. He's worked when I was in high school. I think pretty much that whole 5-year block of high school, he was doing 2 and 1 in Victoria, or 2 and 2 in Victoria. So he'd fly over to Victoria.
There's heaps of farming in Victoria. Hey?
Yeah. So grew up around cows, and Dad being a vet my whole life. Hey, and then mum, if she had to, mum could pick it up tomorrow and go do it, but she doesn't. Yeah. She doesn't do it anymore.
How old were you when they split up?
Young. Young. I'd say 6 maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, which was super confusing. Like when I was young, I remember having a big Barney. Well, not a Barney. I was just crying to mum and like, why aren't you together anymore? And because I was young and didn't understand. And then mum just sat me down one day and just said, Mum and Dad just don't make each other happy anymore. And then from that day on, I was like, that makes sense. Like,
interesting.
Why would you be with someone if you're not happy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
wow. Because, I guess that sort of creates I don't know. Yeah, I think kids get bullshit a lot, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And they're like, you got to protect them a little bit.
Yeah. But the problem is they build foundations of knowledge and character on bullshit.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
it's like if you say, like, now you move forward, you're like, okay, cool, didn't have the atmosphere of like mum and dad being in the same house growing up.
Yeah.
But you're also going like, well, if that was to be the case, they would be happy. So now you know the thing that you're looking for is happy.
Yeah.
You know, like my parents split up when I was 17.
Yeah. How was that?
It was weird because I moved to Europe to like join a skate team and do the shit for like a year. So when I left, everything was pretty normal. And then when they split up while I was not long after I left, actually.
Yeah.
And when I came back, mum like lived in another house and everything was different. Like I came back to a new world. I'm just like, whoa, this is
flipped on its head.
Yeah.
Keep bumping this microphone, sorry.
The weird part about it is like now as a 33-year-old, when I think back about it, I go, okay, my normal was mum and dad not loving each other. Like not communicating, like silence and weirdness, and like it's one of those things now where like I also don't judge them at all for it because you're only as good as the information that you have.
Yeah. Do you reckon your dad was a bottle it up kind of guy, like old school?
Yeah.
They grew up so different to us, eh?
Dude, his whole life is in silence.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
And it's weird now. It's like he's 65 or 6 this year, 66 this year, and like as a 33-year-old, I'm half his age this year. Crazy. Talking to him now about things that happened seemingly like not that long ago, but actually 20 years ago. Like, you remember this? And he's like, oh, I I didn't see it like that at all. It's like, how the fuck did you see it? That was a life-altering moment for me. You know?
Yeah.
So it's, and you're right, completely different eras. You know, dude grew up on a farm, on a dairy farm actually, coincidentally. Had an older brother and a younger brother, and they just constantly fought. His dad was super 7-day Adventist and just completely fucked him with religion. Yeah. So he's like the product of like this rebellion.
Yeah, like the beginning of it.
Yeah. And then, you know, like I grew up with like my dad's fucking covered in tattoos, head to toe, like bad man sort of dude.
Yeah.
So I grew up as my superhero being like a criminal, you know? Yeah. So now it's like when I stand back and observe that, I'm like, fuck, like what
the hell was going on?
Yeah, like I've always going to have tattoos because that's what dad has. You know, mum's covered in tattoos as well. That's what normal is, you know? We've always had at least one Harley in the garage. Yeah. And it's like as soon as I could, 18, I had my first Harley.
What was it?
883 Sporty.
Okay.
Yeah, big 8 hangers, loud pipes, all this shit. I had 3 Sporties actually. I had 3 Sporties and 2 Diners. And right now, if I could have anything, it'd be a Sporty again.
Yeah?
They're just cool.
Yeah, for sure.
They're cool as shit. And you can like kit them out for wheelies and shit. And
Yeah, I'd love to have a Harley one day. One day. But it's just like, it's that inner like motorbike kid, just like the sound of it as soon as it turns on.
Yeah. And the freedom.
I'm not a fan of the blokes that go down the main street of Bunbury and sit on the limiter thinking they're heroes, but as soon as one turns on, I'm like, that's sick. Yeah.
What Harley would you have?
I can't remember the name. Is it Roadster or...
You want like with the saddlebags and shit?
Nah, it's... I wish I... Like sporty looking little thing.
There is
remember the name
because the Iron 883. Actually, it might be the Roadster's the 1200 version of the Iron, and they've got like usually like the 883 has the matte tank, and then the 1200 has like the chrome, not chrome, the glossy tank.
Yeah. I can't remember the life of me what it is.
You'd suit a sporty like perfectly.
Yeah, I'd love like in America, their Harley scene or their bike scene is like big cruisers with the big hard saddlebags and. That looks sick. Like Twitch and all those motocross guys, they've got some sick Harleys over there.
I think like through your Harley career, you like sort of fight having like a windshield and bags and proper suspension, all the rest. You're like, nah, I'm a Harley rider through and through. It's meant to be uncomfortable. Bro, I would have a touring bike.
Yeah, they look so sick.
I've done the Nullarbor 2 or 3 times on a motorbike.
Really?
Yeah.
How was that?
Sucks. It absolutely sucks.
Probably the answer I was expecting.
Yeah, it's fucking horrible. Like 8 hangers, no windshield, nothing. So you just a sail in the
bugs, kangaroos, fucking camels, everything.
Riding 12, 14-hour days with dad who's not interested in stopping for a chat. You know what I mean? He's like, we're fucking getting to Victoria.
We got to get there.
Yeah. And it's just like now you're like, if I could go back and, you know, these guys have the shit in their helmets now. They're talking to each other.
Yeah.
The windshield's so high you don't feel anything. They got cruise control, heated seats, heated grips, central locking on the bags.
Well, that's what. So my stepdad, both my dads rode motorbikes, but my stepdad rode motorbikes from day dot, like from a kid.
Okay.
And now he's got a big tourer, like a 1290 KDM.
Sick.
Yeah, and it's got like heated grips, cruise control, and I actually went for a ride. Mum's got a little 390 Duke. And I've got my L's. I've just never gone in and done my test.
Yeah.
But, we went for a ride and we had the headpiece and, like, you can just talk to each other for miles.
Yeah,
like,
it's
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I know even AirPod Pros, even on a Harley and a full-face helmet, you can have pretty good conversations on the phone.
Yeah. Yeah, AirPods are great. Mine are stuck at the top of a ski resort in Canada at the moment.
Oh, no way. You would you'd even have the location on them so you could see where you just never find them.
Yeah, that's how I figured it out. I got to the bottom. I was riding with a friend. And we did a big day and just said, stuff it, let's go to the pub. And I've taken my AirPod out, gone to grab my thing and find my iPhone. It's just like halfway up the hill. Yeah. And they're white, so in the snow. Like I'm never finding that.
Someone's finding them in summer.
Yeah. I went to go buy another pair. They're $420 or something.
You just got to buy them.
Yeah, I know. I've got open ears and over ears, so I'm just delaying until I go to Europe to buy some, I think.
Yeah.
But they're the best, like.
Do you run the pros or the standards?
Pros, yeah.
Pros are the way to go.
Yeah, I'm not buying into no Samsung Galaxy BS. Like
fuck no.
Pods are where it's at.
Yeah. What camera do you? Because you do a bit of content.
Yeah. I try to just have a bit of fun with it. Not take it too seriously.
Do you run the Osmo?
Osmo Action 6. No, the DJI, whatever it is. Is it Osmo? The Action Cam?
Is it on a...
Nah, it's not like the one that Cross got.
Right. I think that's the Pocket 3. I think.
Yeah,
Osmo
yeah, it
Pocket
is.
3.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you, to be honest. Normally I'm a gearhead, but I got no idea.
Oh,
the latest action camera is 6.
You run like the mouthpiece. It's like the...
it's like just a GoPro looking
interesting
thing. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but like you do a lot of stuff on your phone, eh? Like...
Yeah, I do everything on my phone.
Yeah, it's mental, like what you can have in your pocket.
Did you see the Rose review that I did?
Yeah, it was all on your phone.
Bros,
it's
put
crazy,
that on a fucking screen and watch it in 4K and
I
you're
know.
like, that's off my phone.
I know.
On a tripod with just like DJI mini mics.
Like honestly, in 10, 15 years time, I don't even know if action cameras will be a thing. Like you'll just... part of your phone will detach and you'll just click it onto something. Like it's so ridiculous.
Just that part came off.
Yeah. You know, I mean, it'll happen. Like there's no doubt it'll happen. Technology is so crazy. I remember when they got their first ever phone that could send a photo, and you could only send it to a phone that also could take photos because otherwise it wouldn't accept it.
Yeah.
And it cost them 50 cents to send the photo. Motorola V1, I think.
Oh, the Razor?
Yeah. 0.8 megapixel camera come through looking like a potato.
Yeah.
But I remember like, because they got them in Perth and we're at my grandma's house and my grandma nearly like tipped over. She was like, took a photo of the dog, sent it to Pete over there. And then grandma was just like, what the hell? And that's not even that long ago. Like I'm old, but not that old. Like I would have been 10. So it was what, 18 years ago-ish?
Yeah.
When the first,
How old were you when you got your first phone?
Young, hey. Yeah, I was very early to the party with a lot of things. But my parents are split up, so mum or dad thought it was a good idea, get a phone, because then dad can call me without calling mum to hand it to me. So yeah, I don't know, I'd say, what's 9 years old? What year is that? 2? No? 4?
Oh yeah, 10's around that
I'd
age,
say around 10, 9.
So
little Samsung slide thing.
You remember Cheese TV?
Yeah.
Right. All right, yeah. So we fall into the same category.
Similar,
We grew up without technology and then adapted
big
to
time.
technology.
Yeah. But for my fourth birthday, I got fourth Christmas, I got a PlayStation 2, and the only game I had was Lara Croft Tomb Raider, which was MA 15 plus.
Bro, she was hot as fuck.
Yeah, she was stunning. Yeah, still got a crush on her. Yeah, for sure.
That shit never goes away.
But then there's like me, 4 years old, not knowing how to use a controller at grandma's house, just shooting people. It's like my dad's thinking, this is the best thing ever, and my grandma's just mortified.
Yeah, what are we doing?
Yeah,
ruining
this kid's
this
4 years old.
Yeah. So all right. What's the through line there? So you play Need for Speed?
Yeah, big nerd. I was a big nerd. Like, you know how you talk about motocross being like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like I was nerdier than you could ever imagine, ever.
Did you grow up in Bunbury?
Grew up in Dardanup, so the 15 minutes outside of Bunbury.
Yeah, right.
Dairy farm, and then before that, Dad had a farm as well. So I just grew up thinking I'd just have a farm. I just thought that was normal. That's all I've never known.
Yeah.
But then I found out how expensive farms are and went, I'm probably never going to own a farm.
It's crazy, hey?
Yeah.
Like the best we're probably going to do is like a 3 to 5 acre block.
Yeah.
And also still 15 minutes out of town.
Yeah. Well, I was born on 110 acres or 100 acres. And then my parents split up and I was like, oh, okay, cool. Mum and Dad both rented whilst they worked out what they were doing. And Mum was with my stepdad, who was a dairy farmer, and he had 1,100 acres. So I've gone from 100 acres to 1,100 acres just thinking...
Everyone has land.
Everyone has farms. Like, this is normal. I'm just going to grow up and have land. But I was very wrong.
Yeah, interesting. So do you have any aspirations to ever move to a city and live that life?
Nah, man. Cities... Even like, it took me a while to get used to Bunbury, for sure. Yeah. But I remember... when I was young, I used to have big barneys with Mum about how boring the farm was, eh? Yeah. Like, you don't know what you got till it's gone. And you don't appreciate things when you're young, but I'd kill to go back out to a farm now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, like Riz and I talk about it, like the ultimate long term is like 5 acres, right?
Yeah. Like, imagine bringing little grommies up there with like chickens and goats and marron and all that sort of shit. That's the dream. But yeah, it's slowly getting further and further out of touch, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. It's... Oh, yeah, it's probably I don't know. With business, I feel like you sort of don't have a capacity ceiling.
Yeah, that's good.
It's like we have the ability to, the fuel prices go up. We're like, we'll just find somewhere to put the prices up in our product. And, you can sort of do that. And I feel like now, like, you know, we're starting to really find our feet. We're 5 years into business.
Yeah. No, you're killing it. It's like everything in Bunbury's bloody printed by you, dude, at the moment.
Yeah, I'm very good at projecting that we're killing it, you know. I'm not saying that we're not, but yeah. I think
But even just like I went through a scroll, maybe when I was in Canada, you shared something, put something up in your story, and I just went through your business page and had a look, and there's just so many businesses I didn't know you actually did.
Yeah.
And there's heaps on there.
You know what it is? There's this young bloke who I was talking to yesterday, and he was talking to me like I made it. You know what I mean? Like I'm at level 10. And I was like, interesting. And I was talking to Riz about it. I'm like, so you know the people I look up to are like this person and this person, this person, this person. But from his perspective, I'm one of them.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm closer to him than I am them.
Yeah, yeah, you know? For sure.
I think also as well, like as much as I said before, like I think I know everything. One big thing that I focus on is going like, I am the dumbest person in the room always, 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 you know?
You want to be a leech, not a leader, I reckon.
That's right.
As in just take everything in.
And if it's there, make it yours.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
And I think that whole perspective, you know, because you sort of want to like embody the thing that you're trying to become, but internally remain where you are, so that you don't get like your ego doesn't jump forward
and stay who you are.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Like let yourself develop at the right pace. So in 10 years, I'm the person I'm meant to be.
Yeah.
And I think like when I look at like where we are and where we're trying to be and where we've come from, we've only really 5 years in just got to a point where we can start to actually go like, all right, here's the goalpost.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
In 10 years time, we'd like to have this lifestyle, you know, these vehicles are very, you know, arbitrary things.
But that's life, hey? Like that's ambitions to have for sure.
I think the cool thing is right now though, pantry's full.
Yeah,
fuel tanks full. That's all that matters. Everyone's happy and healthy. We've made it.
Yeah.
You know?
We don't, like everyone takes that for granted, eh?
So
like
much.
Yeah. Like you just look at what's going on in the world, you're like, wow, you got food to eat, fuel your car up, you can drive to the beach, do whatever you want. Like we're so lucky.
Go on the City of Bunbury page and just look at any of the comments on any of the posts. It's like, cunts, you guys need to really look at your life.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I actually, it's funny you say that. They posted that thing about the new high rise.
Yeah.
And the comments were just like, just so bad, just so small-minded. Like there's nothing bigger than Bunbury. Like this is the worst thing in the world. It's like, mate, you get to eat some of the best food in our region. You get to go to good coffee shops. You get to, like, you're 2 hours from Perth to fly out wherever you want.
Crazy.
Life's not that bad, honestly.
Yeah. Like, go walk along the beach.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
When I was in Canada, I actually spoke to a Canadian bloke, and I was just talking about the beaches because he lives in the middle. They don't even have beaches.
Horrible. Yeah.
And all he's seen is like Bondi, like on Instagram or whatever, and he's like, I can't believe how busy it is. I said, mate, it's not like that. Like that's Bondi. Where I go, I don't sit near people, like, and I don't wait for a park or like, we're so lucky here. Yeah,
dude, even saying that out loud, you're like, don't tell them.
Yeah, you know? Yeah.
Like you go down to Dunsborough or something, and it's like, yeah, the beaches are unreal, but you're also
Dunsborough that's for me. That's stressful, eh?
Yeah,
like you said, like moving to Bunbury was an adjustment for me. Going to Dunsborough in like school holidays just stress me out, man. I can't deal with that.
In school holidays, it's
the worst, obviously.
Peak anxiety.
Yeah,
like the idea, like, you know, Saturday mornings we run, then swim at Koombana, you know, and you fuck around there for 15 minutes yelling and screaming.
I know.
We get the stock whips out, we're cracking them in the car park. You're like,
I heard you stock whips the other day. Actually, what was that? Hottest 100.
Yeah,
I heard him in the backyard.
A stock whip, like
I think I messaged Connor. I was like, "Is that someone cracking the whip at your joint?" And he's like, "Yeah,
definitely was."
Yeah.
No, that was at George's.
Oh, does George live near there as well?
Yeah, so George is on Parry Street.
Oh yeah.
So it's actually weird because like the distance from here to Connors is the same as like the distance from Connors to George's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it mustn't have been that then, because it was definitely you guys were at Connor's house for something. I don't know, something.
Australia it was probably before they went there or something.
Yeah. Something was going on.
Because as the crow flies,
I'm like right next to
close
Connor.
to Connor.
Yeah, I'm like, I could probably hit him with a cricket ball if I.
Dude, I wouldn't be surprised if it was from George's because he lives on a hill.
You just hear it down the valley.
Yeah, and it just like goes out. Do you hear that bird at sunrise and sunset at the Big Swamp?
I don't think so. I haven't noticed it. I probably will now, and it'll piss me off.
It's so funny because I don't know the sound, so don't ask me to make it. But I had the sound like on lock, and I was at the cafe the other day with all the boys. I'm like, Connor, surely you hear this bird that's like,
I'll listen for it now.
Dude, sure. Connor's like, no fucking way, but you have to do the sound again, right?
Yeah.
So, thanks, man. Dude, I swear to God, every day I hear this bird, and you guys are so close to it compared to me.
Yeah, I'll listen for it now for sure. And once I hear it, I'll probably never be able to unhear it.
It's hilarious.
It'll just haunt me.
Yeah, it's hilarious. What's your half Ironman time?
I got a 4:39, so much better than I was expecting. But it still wasn't. It's all about comparison. Like, comparison's a thief of joy, whereas I just wanted a sub 5 hour Ironman, half Ironman. That's all I wanted. And then sort of, got out of the swim, looked at my watch, knew I'd gone faster than I was expecting. Transition went great. And then on the bike, the bike was just the funnest thing in the world. Like, that was obviously where I put my most amount of training into. It's what I enjoy the most. And I didn't get overtaken once on the bike. And I think, don't quote me on it, I got maybe top 20 bike times of the day.
Really?
Something like that. That could be wrong. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at it since the day really. But I did really well on the bike. And I got told by an actual Ironman who's been to Kona, which is the big one. Yeah. He was like, just, take the bike easy. Usually a really good bike is a shit run because you've overdone it. Right. So, came into the run thinking,
how's this going to go?
And my legs felt great. Like I definitely left some in the tank on the bike, but then, got on the run, was cruising for the most part, started to feel a little bit of a cramp in my right hamstring, which is the one I tore when I was like real young. So I don't know if that's left over. Something, because my left one's never cramped. My right one started to. And then had to have a toilet break on the run too.
Sucks.
Yeah. Lucky I'm pretty quick on the toilet. I think I only lost minute 30 or something.
Hectic.
So it's in and out pretty quickly. Yeah. I was running down the road with my bloody tri-suit half off trying to get it. Like you're covered in Coke and like everything because you have the aid stations there, but you don't stop. So you just come in, grab one. You lose half it when you grab it. Yeah. Then you're like trying to get it on your face or trying to get it down your mouth. It just goes all over your face. But the Ironman was great, man. Like really eye-opening experience. I think like even with Canada, like the things that you appreciate the most are the things you weren't expecting. So like for me, that was great. I got a PB. I did way better than I thought I was going to do. Never in my wildest dreams did I ever think I'd get sub 440. I know it's a very flat course in terms of Ironmans, but I just didn't think that was possible. But that was definitely not the highlight. Like the highlight was seeing everyone else. Like, and that's not to, don't look at me like I'm humble or whatever. It was literally the highlight. Like I was running, just looking at everyone, like 70-year-old women who were just battling away and just everyone. You could see like everyone was fighting demons that day. And then you see like the emotion when they cross the line. Most people were like crying and stuff. Like, that was the coolest part. And then like seeing you down there, that was such a spin out because you mentioned.
I think it was like the day before. I'm like, you got the Ironman tomorrow.
Yeah, like, I'm going. That was such a spin out. And I was actually on the run. I'd just come down and I was coming back. And I was sort of just like, I haven't seen anyone for a while. Like, not what's going on, but it's just nice to like see up at the other end of the course. I saw people like all the time. And I was down there and I saw you and I was just like chuffed as like
sick.
Running. It was sick. Yeah. And like that sort of stuff, just people coming down to support, like it really puts it into perspective how good people are really, I suppose. Like,
it's a grandiose event.
Yeah, it's cool. I'd never been to it my whole life and it's there every year. But
it is massive. Like the timing was crazy as well because we sort of fucked around that morning and I was like, we are going to Busso, so don't like take too long. Yeah. So I'm like sort of like driving down 5 over the limit, like, I hope I haven't missed anything. We've like parked and like you couldn't park anywhere. So I've just done a classic, like there's a, 300 mil curb. I'm taking that as a park. Yeah. We've got out of the car, walked over and it was like maybe a minute and a half later and you've run past. I'm like, that's sick.
Yeah, it was really cool. Even like it took me half the bloody run probably about 10Ks in, like all these people yelling my name, and I was just thinking like, I don't know any of you. Like, what is going on here? And then some kid like pointed at my bib and he's like, Hamish. And I went, you idiot. Like your name is plastered across your waist. Seriously, I did half this run. Every time someone say my name, I'd run past and go, who the fuck was that? Like blonde hair, blonde hair. And I was like, nah, I don't know that person. And then it all clicked. And then, but that day was awesome, man. And it's like, I don't know, like you're doing the Three Waters coming up.
I am.
Yeah, like I can't wait to go down to support people, That's what like is very different from motocross maybe, and downhill not so much. Downhill is pretty friendly and like everyone's there for everyone. But I just think those sorts of sports, like you're competing against yourself really. Yeah. So everyone's there to look out for everyone.
Yeah, all right. I sort of want to go into the avenues of like the mental battles, because I feel like that's, I don't know, I think my hobby is actually beating demons. It's not running or anything like that. Sure. And like when I was skating, I was a marathon skater. Yeah. So your typical marathon time in speed skating is like anywhere from like 55 minutes to over an hour, depending, like if you got hills or if it's a city circuit or whatever. Yeah. But like I'm very quickly learning like 3.5 to 4 hours running is very different to 1 hour of skating. And it's
running is brutal, man.
It sucks.
Yeah.
Like it actually sucks. Yeah. I did that 32K weekend just being on the treadmill.
Right. that's a demon fighter on the treadmill. That? Yeah.
Dude, the problem is at the pools at Southwest Sports Centre, you can really only look straight ahead because below you there's like bikinis and children. So I don't like.
Yeah, both of them get you in trouble.
And then looking at the fucking aircon.
Yeah, you're just staring at ducting.
You've got a piece of glass in front of you, so you're focusing between you and the ducting. You know.
Yeah. You're a psycho. When I saw you put that up on the treadmill, I can't last more than 10, 12 Ks on a treadmill and I'm done.
It's terrible. Yeah. You know, it's great. I didn't look at the screen. I had a towel over the screen until I just ticked over 2 hours. Yeah. I done 22 Ks. I look at it, I'm like 10 to go. Like,
did you, are you following like a running plan at the moment, or are you coaching yourself? Or
Just so that's the last 4 weeks until the marathon, but it's all just like chat.
Yeah, for sure.
Like every workout up until pretty much that point, I was just giving to chat afterwards and saying what to do next. It coached me through 2 injuries.
Yeah, I was going to say that like I'm a big advocate for chat and self-coach, but the one thing people that don't know how to like or acknowledge an injury or know what's an injury or a difference between niggle, that's where I'm like, you should have a coach or whatever. That's right. When I recommend to people, like, could you tell the difference between a niggle or some tendonitis or something like that? Yeah. And they're like, oh, not really. I'm like, well, you should probably get a coach. Yeah. Whereas if you know, I think it's great. There's so much information out there.
For sure. Don't forget, chat is as good as the prompt you give it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like it's always, I need you to act as a professional running coach. I'm an amateur marathon runner. This is my first marathon. And then like even going into, so one of the injuries was like knee related. So I've had a meniscus removal on one of my legs. So it's like, all right, give it that information. Now, this is what caused the injury. I had this much time off. I've gone back, had this happen. Should I continue doing this? Go to a physio, blah, blah, blah. Go to a physio. So I go to the physio. I give all that also take on what the physio says. Yeah. Also crucial.
For sure. Yeah. No, like people are a wealth of knowledge. But for something that's like it's free. Yeah. Like for a lot of people to go see a physio is $80 or whatever. Like it is free. Yeah. And it can be really good. You just have some common sense with it, I think, hey? Yeah,
and also, like, do what chat says. Yeah. The big thing that I keep going back to is, like, if it tells you to do a slow run, fucking run slow. Yeah. And whatever you think is slow go slower. Yeah. You know?
That's one thing with running is, like, when you start, you can't put your ego away. You just think, oh, I'm going for a slow run. It's like, no, that's where you make your bread. Yeah. Yeah, but even like ChatGPT, when I first started riding, I never got a bike fit. Roughly, there's a few like guides on how to get your seat the right height and whatever. And maybe like 4 months in, I was riding and I had like the sharpest knee pain, like some of the worst knee pain I've ever had. It felt like my kneecap was about to be pulled over the front of my shin. I don't know what it was. I was just like sometimes I had to get off the bike and like stretch out my leg. And I got to the Dardenut Bakery and I just took a photo of my knee, explained the knee pain, and it like just gave me 3 suggestions. And the first one was move my seat further back, I think.
Okay.
Or forward, I can't remember. And like within a day it was fixed. And I was just like, whoa.
Interesting.
Like it actually fixed it.
Further forward puts you...
I reckon it was further back. So it put my knee further because it was like my knee must have been going over the top of my foot.
So your knee's gone past your toe.
Yeah, so it was putting pressure down the front.
Yeah, right.
I think that's what it was. But yeah, that's just when I
juicy teardrops. That's what you're trying to
do. Yeah, trying to get something. But no, the Ironman was amazing, mate. And I can't recommend to anyone enough just to do endurance sports once they feel capable. It doesn't even have to be endurance. Just do something that gets outside. But endurance sports are cool because the day itself was the easiest part of the whole thing. And that's not to take the piss and not to downplay anyone that really struggled that day, but it is the easiest part. The training is relentless. You look at Josh Padley or like even there's a young bloke in town called Finn Howard. They're cranking out monster weeks whilst they're still working, doing all this stuff. And then you get to race day and you've just hold on for 5 hours or 10 hours, whatever it is. Whereas they're doing this for months and months and months, rocking up tired, going to work tired, eating late. It's really cool. And it's really the delayed gratification, I think, is really cool.
Dude, all right. Step number 1 is make delayed gratification your best friend across the board in every part of your life. Yeah. Relationships, work, ego, sport, whatever it is.
I was the worst for that. Like I grew up only child, so if I wanted something, I got it. There was no like, wait till your birthday. And like obviously on your birthday you get presents or whatever, but if I wanted something, I was fortunate enough that I usually got it. So then I've grown up being like, if I want something, I just buy it. Like it was... Not, I want a $200 pair of shoes. All right, I'm going to put $50 away a week and I'm going to buy them in a month. I've always been I'm just going to buy it now guy. And then that's what like the Ironman really showed me is that you've got this massive build and it takes ages to get that little medal and that sense of reward, which was, pretty eye-opening. Like delayed gratification is definitely not something I've had much of in terms of... Normally I just do something, get a result or do something.
Yeah. I think one thing that like rings true there is my coach, Desley Hill, who coached me when I was in Holland. She said training is putting money in the bank and race day is getting to spend it. When you go to the shops, you want the most amount of money to spend.
Yeah, I love that.
So always be putting money in the bank. Yeah. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. So everything I eat is putting money in the bank. Every hour of sleep I get is money in the bank. Yeah. And then, I mean, obviously being a paid athlete, it's very different. Yeah. Sort of like expectation of what the day is. Everything is based around like I have to train either. I have just come from training and I'm going to training later. So everything is. But before you get too far away from it, what was your run time in the
1:36 maybe? So I think that was 4.
Bro, that's nuts.
4:38 or something. I can't remember. I can get it up, but I can't really remember.
4:38, dude.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Done your swim and your ride.
For me, it's good. Like I'm not the strongest runner at all, and I'm not even like. I just train a lot, so the effort pays off. But like one of my mates, Daniel Perks, he monstered the run. I think he might have got the 8th fastest run of the day or 10th fastest run of the day. Sick. He ran I should know this, but maybe a 124.
Wow.
Or 123. So he nearly caught me. Yeah, he was right behind me. And I was
sitting like on 410 or something.
Something like that, yeah. Dude, maybe less.
That's bonkers.
Yeah, he was moving, yeah. And because I knew I'd probably have him in the swim, and then I definitely knew I had him on the bike, but I definitely knew he had me on the run because he's just a machine runner, like. And he just had a newborn, so he didn't get to train as much as me. Like he was, we're on different paths, but that doesn't matter when you're mates because you still want to beat each other. And,
yeah, of course.
Yeah, and when I went to the toilet on the run, I went,
he's passing me.
Yeah, it's done. I was like certain. I just went in there going, Daniel actually got me because I didn't know how much of a lead I had. I just knew I had a lead on him coming into the thing, and then he was actually we'd run past each other on the U-turn. Yep, and he would time it from the.
No way.
Yeah, so he knew how much he had to make up.
He had
So
a gauge
he was actually following a pacing to try and catch me, and then I think he was about 50 seconds behind me.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was very close.
Dude, you got lucky. That was a clean break.
Yeah, it come out pretty fast. Dude, without getting too technical.
Dude, I've not had a clean break on a run log yet. Hey.
Yeah.
It's usually like
I got up, put my tri-suit back on, and then realized I wasn't finished, and took it off again.
No
sat
way.
back down and got the rest of it out. Yeah,
Hectic.
Which is TMI, but that's
how much did you have to go?
Triathlon. That was at like K7, I reckon. K8.
You've got to figure it out.
Yeah. I made the mistake of Mum's calling me. I made the mistake of there's like toilet, like at the aid stations, there's toilet blocks, portable toilets, and I ran past one thinking, I could go. And I was like, nah, I'll be right. And I got about 200 meters past it, and I was like, oh no, I really need to go. So then
as soon as your mind knows.
Yeah, well, it just wanted to give way, and then I had to hold on for another 3 kilometers to get to the next one. And
hectic.
But the run was good. I'm not a super strong runner, and that's what, like, my next one, if I try and qualify to go to France, that's going to be my biggest focus, is get a absolutely blistering. I'd like to get into the 4s. Yeah, which is doable. I was learning the whole time. Hey, when I was training, I was self-coached. Yeah, probably wasn't doing enough run volume, but that's just, I don't know. That's how you learn.
Yeah, well, dude, I'm 10 days out, say 11 days out from this marathon, and I'm doing
next weekend, Sunday. Yeah. Sick.
Yeah, so I'm doing like 60-ish Ks a week.
Yeah.
And like now I'm starting to go like, fuck, I'm fit. Like that 32 on the treadmill the other day, I was like, it sucked.
Yeah.
But I did it.
Yeah.
And like 42 is only 10 more than that.
Isn't it crazy, like, when you started running, you'd run 5K and be like,
hurt.
Yeah, be like, wow, that hurt.
Yeah.
And then it just keeps going.
Dude, I got an easy 10K yesterday, and it was like 5:27 for 10. And I got home and I'm like, all right, into the day.
Yeah, exactly. It's nice. Dude? It's nice when you get to finish runs like that and you just continue on about your day.
Yeah. Going back to the demons, what's your internal monologue like when you're having that, when you're in it and you're struggling, what's that like for you?
Demons. Like on the race day, I didn't have any demons. In training, I had some tough days. But when for me, when I've got a goal, the tough days aren't that bad. Yeah. Because the really hard ones are the ones that are gonna like get you there in the end. Because you can do the easy runs, you can do all that stuff and feel great, but it's that when you don't want to do it and when you're sore is when you're making bread. And yeah, that's the days that really shine through come race day. So and there's like a lot of days you don't want to go out, but it's like anything, like, when you're hungover and you don't want to go for a walk and like you're sitting on the couch delaying it, and then you get like 500 meters in and you're like, it's not that bad. Yeah. It's the same with a run. Like when you're sore, tired, injured, or got a niggle, you don't want to do it. And then you get 1K in, you're like, this is not that good. Then you get 2Ks in, you're like, I don't feel that bad.
Yeah.
So then you get the hardest part is, my biggest demon is getting out of the house. Like when I can't be bothered. Like,
so you lean more into the hard days than the easy days, you reckon? Obviously outside of that initial getting out the door, but once you're sort of in it.
Yeah, I enjoy the harder days more. Yeah. Wow. The easy day, like when I did my last prep, I think I did 24K long run, and it was just a long run. There was no like 5K warm up and then a little bit faster drop off. It was just a long run, and I was running it and I was like, I'm so bored. Like this is just effort.
This is just a thing I got to do.
This is just effort. Like I'm not. Yeah. Whereas like I did a couple of big heavy long runs, but with like intervals in it. So it'd be like 3K warm up, 4Ks on, 3Ks off, 4Ks on, 3Ks off. Okay. At like 420s maybe for 4Ks, then 530s, then 420s again. So like pretty heavy sets for me anyway. Like
that's
people
heavy,
do a lot faster, and they like go by in a flash. Like hard, but they're done. Like, and I don't even think.
Yep.
Whereas
you're so based on sets, right?
Yeah.
Because you're like, all I got to do is get through this next 4K.
Yeah.
I'll worry about the rest afterwards. Yeah. All of a sudden you've done that 3 times.
That's the same mentality as building up to an event, like you'll smash your mara and you won't even think about all these days you've been stacking, and you just get to enjoy the end of it. Like, because you've got that goal in sight. These like days that you don't want to do, or a little bit hard, or you just look past them, eh? Like, and it's a bit contradictory. I love living in the moment. I try and enjoy the moment as much as I can. But when you're training for something, like, that's the goal. Like, and I know maybe you don't want to focus on the goal because when you get there, like, what have you got? But it makes the training for me so easy.
Yeah, I think
you're just doing hours and hours and hours, and then you're like, well, it's going to be worth it.
Yeah, I think the question that I asked, it's actually probably not the question that you answered, but I think I didn't ask the question. It's
probably because I can talk underwater and I get lost.
No, you went down an interesting vein, like, because I have this thing where, like, I don't struggle to get out of the house. Like, I look forward, like, today's a rest day, and I'm like, what am I meant to do? You know, like, do some gardening or something, whatever. But then when I'm like in it and I'm like hurting and like, especially like the treadmill is probably a good example of this. It's like, what's that other place that I go to? Because it's like this totally different version of who I am. Yeah, and one thing I have recognized, I don't know if you have the same thing. I reckon you do, because you're an only child and you're interested in all of this, like, you know, delayed gratifications and endurance things, right? Like, I'm a huge endurance person for whatever reason. My voice in my head says that I'm a winner. Even when I'm losing, it's like, but this is not. Yeah. I think people in general, their voice tells them they're a loser. Like, I feel, and it may be something you can train out.
Yeah, maybe, for sure.
I think it's maybe like a manifestation thing almost as well, because like, I believe, like, I'm running a 3:15 marathon. Yeah. Is it possible? Unlikely. Yeah. But I'm already there. I've already done it.
Is that your target, 3:15?
Yeah. Well, my thing was
what's that? 3:15.
4:45. Yeah. So when I looked at the last year's results, I'm like looking at, 1 through 20, and it's like, I think top 20 is like 3:15. Mm-hmm. Like, if I get 3:15, I'm top 20. I'm like, I'll aim for top 20. Yeah, shit's easy. It's not until
for sure,
you realize it's actually pretty fucking hard.
Yeah,
and I mean, that came off the back of, I said to Riz, like, I'm gonna register for the 10K and the 3 waters. She's like, you're a pussy, go for the marathon. I'm like, now I got to do the marathon.
No, that's good.
I signed up for the marathon thinking I'm going to aim for this 3:15 time. Now, I ran that 32 at like 5:30 pace. Mind you, I breathed through my nose the whole time. Yeah, so it's like I was, and like sitting at 155 heart rate. So it's like, it's probably...
Do you use a heart rate monitor?
I only use a watch, hey. Yeah. Do you reckon there's that much discrepancy between the two?
Yeah.
Does it under or over?
Both.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, like, I'm a big heart rate monitor guy. I wasn't for ages. I bought one because I just thought that's what you needed for fitness, and then I didn't use it for probably a year.
Yeah.
And then, I started, even on my non-tattooed arm, started getting some funky readings. Like, I did a sub 25K, and it was telling me my max heart rate was like 171. And I was like, well, that's not true, because I would have been maxing. I would have been 190 something.
You would have been ripping the whole time.
Yeah. And then, like, on a low, like a slow run, I was way over. So it was telling me like I'm 160, and I could breathe with my mouth shut.
Okay.
And then it's not always out. Like, it's pretty accurate, I'd say, but I'm now a big heart rate monitor guy, and you can't hide with a heart rate monitor. Like, it's
sole purpose over your heart.
Pretty accurate. Yeah.
What's how many times have you run sub 25K?
Only twice. Yeah, I've only ever done 2 5K time trials. Yeah.
Cousin, that's quick as fuck.
My second one was quick. Yeah, 18:58, I think. Well, for me, that's quick. Yeah.
Dude, that's insane for most people. 18:58.
Yeah, but like, there's like, it's all comparison. Like, but for me, that's very quick. I remember before I did a sub 20, my fastest was 22:58, so I was not that fast. And then I ran a sub 20. I was like, that's cool.
How'd you run it? Like, what course did you do for it?
Just bird park laps, hey?
Really?
Yeah. That's the best place to do intervals, I reckon.
No wind?
No. Well, bird park's good because it's a triangle, so you're only going to get the wind on one side, usually. Whereas, like, you run along the beach, if it's westerly, you're just getting smoked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know Dan, Dan O'Connor?
Yeah. He
ran a sub 25K around the inlet with Croft pedal assist.
Yeah.
Which is a PED in my mind, but we're not going to go there.
Cross that bridge another day.
Well, dude, he got 3Ks in and then he wanted to batten off, and Croft's like, you didn't get me out of bed to fucking button off. keep at pace, you know?
Yeah. Now 5Ks suck. That would be my least enjoyable run, I reckon.
Just a shitty amount of time to be running.
Yeah, and it's just all out gas and you just feel horrible after. It's like I just feel, I'd rather run a half marathon than a 5K.
Yeah, for sure. Would you, in your mind, like when you're perceiving the run as it's happening or before it's happening, do you see it as this is going to be 20 minutes of hard work, or do you see it kilometre by kilometre?
For a 5K? I'm probably not the person to ask because I just don't really like 5Ks. But when I did my sub-19 one, I actually went out for a 10K time trial.
Yeah.
And I looked down my watch. I think I did like 3:38, and I was like, okay, I've balls this up big time.
Yeah.
All right, we're doing a 5K, and then everything was sweet. My fastest split was my 4th K. That was a 3:31, and then that went downhill after that. Like, as in, I just held on. I just didn't even look at my watch. Just ran till it beat. Hey.
Yeah.
But I did 50 Ks that morning on the bike, so I don't know if that played a part of it or if it helped me. It might have warmed my legs up. I don't know. But
dude, I think there's something to doing like time trialed efforts when you're a little bit hurt.
Yeah.
I don't know. Excuse me. I don't know that. Obviously, you know, tapering before a marathon's one thing.
Yeah.
But I definitely think there's something to, like, I've done some really good efforts when I'm a little bit hungover.
Yeah.
And like a little bit hurt from even like doing that 32 on Saturday, doing that 10 yesterday, I felt ridiculously good.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I thought like,
and treadmills are also nice too. They take a little bit of the
impact,
the harshness off your knees.
Interesting.
So like, it's not like you're pounding pavement. Like you're actually getting a little bit of cushion, which is a lot of people do rehab on a treadmill and stuff like that. Treadmills are really good.
Chat said to put the incline on 1%.
Yeah.
So it makes up for all of the wind that you don't have and all the rest. So I think I had like a total elevation of like 350 meters or something.
At least you got to eat what you want for the day with all those calories.
Brother, do you know what shit? So I got real high before I went.
Yeah.
Which, wrong move. Wrong move. So I did it I left the house at 12:30 because I had to get out of the gym before they closed. Yeah. So I'm like, I smoked some weed and I was like, normally I have like 2 puffs, all good. I had 2 puffs and then had like a real big third one. I'm like, all right, I'm going. I'm driving to the gym. I'm like,
credit where credit's due.
Brother, I might be too hard to do this, but I'm also not going to go home and sit around for 3 hours going like, I would have been doing a 32 count of treadmill right now. Because obviously, you know, mentally building up to it. And then I realized once I get to the gym, I realized that I'm going to go and run on a treadmill for 3 hours and I'm going to take 2 bottles with me and a bag of Oreos and jelly beans. I haven't thought this through.
Yeah.
Right?
Just stoner food.
It's fuel food.
It's what I eat when but if you're sitting around watching a movie, you'd probably grab a bag of Oreos.
Bro, I've got my fucking, my super tight, what are they called? 2XU compression socks.
Yeah.
I got my bright orange shorts on. I got a fucking crop top. I think it was like my Marlboro crop top. Like, dude, who am I?
Who am I? This guy?
Right? So I go into the gym. I like assess like the treadmills. I'm like, all right, there's a girl on that one. There's a girl on that one. I'm taking this one over here to not be a creep or whatever. I go put my bag down. I'm like, I don't want to carry the food to the treadmill. I also don't take my bag to the treadmill. So I'm like, I'll just awkwardly stretch in this area over here for a bit the whole time. Like I'm just going through scenarios in my head as you do, right? So I'm like, all right, I'll take my bag to the treadmill because that's not as bad as taking the food to the treadmill. Yeah. All right, now cut to, I get on the treadmill, I put my 2 bottles out, thank God, and I get my towel out and I put it over the thing. I start running. And I'm like, all right, I need to start fueling about half an hour in. Yeah. This chick comes and posts up next to me and I'm like, all right, well, as soon as she's off, I'll check the time, right? Yeah. So I end up having someone else go on the other side and she disappears. I'm like, when they get off, I'll check the thing, right? So they get off. I've also got my watch telling me what it thinks is every kilometer.
Oh, yeah. Do you find that accurate? Like it's close? Yeah.
Nowhere near.
Really?
Nowhere near. So it turned out to be every 1.6K.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm like doing the maths. I'm like, all right, if it's telling me, it was 6 minute 47 seconds for every kilometer. And I was running at 5:30 pace.
5:30 on the screen?
On the screen.
Yeah.
So, it was 1.2 Ks.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm like figuring out, like, all right, so if I just fuel with water and that electrolyte mix that I've got, that pure shit, it's got carbs and the other thing that you need, magnesium, whatever. So I'm like, if I'm just doing that, I'll be pretty fine. I don't start eating physical food until 2 hours in, which is 22 kilometers.
Yeah.
So obviously you're under stress.
How does your guts go with that?
Well, I thought I was all good until I started with jelly beans. That was all good. Then I went to Oreos, and at that point I was fueling every 15 minutes. So it was only an hour left. So it was only four fuels. As soon as I got off the treadmill, it felt horrible. I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm in trouble. Drive home, I was like getting like blurred vision. Mm-hmm. I got home, had a protein shake. 12 minutes later, power spewed twice.
Really?
Yeah, like, wow. And like I'm talking power spew.
What do you think that caused? What's caused from?
I think based off what I saw come out of me, none of that food was digested. Wow. So when I later, like, because obviously back to coach, I'm like, this. And it basically said, dickhead, you're at the gym to train, not to worry about what other people think. So take your fucking Oreos and your jelly beans, whatever you need, to the treadmill, have them, you know?
Yeah.
So it said basically what happened is you've put your body under a huge amount of stress. Mm-hmm. You've gone 2 hours of exercising with nothing in your stomach except fluids. So it's like super, you know, contracted. Yeah. You've tried to push food into it. It's stress. It's not digesting
sweating like
anything.
A pig in the gym too.
That's right.
Yeah.
You've got no fan on you. So you're overheating. All these things are happening. So you've got all this food and then all of a sudden your body stops and needs to recover. It's like, we're not wasting energy on digesting shit. Get that out. So yeah, that's what's happened with great force.
Yeah.
And then cut to me curled up on the couch.
Have you got much of a fueling strategy for your Mara?
Yeah, eat heaps sooner than then.
Eat. I mean, when you're not hungry, eat again.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, nutrition, like, it's crazy, like how important it is.
What's your go-to for fuel?
I'm pretty people get caught up in like how clean this is. Like, I just eat LCM bars, muesli bars, like try to keep the fat and the protein low in whatever I'm eating, and then just as carbohydrates. But LCM bars are great, like easy to get down. They're like, you know, they're a little bit wet. They're not dry, not wet, but
I know what you mean.
You can eat them easily. Like a lot of, even the expensive carb bars and that, they're so dry that when you're eating them, you need water.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mix it up all the time. I think the industry just forces you into like gels and all that sort of stuff, which I've got plenty of. Like I'm got too many gels. I don't use them quick enough, but they're expensive, You can go buy like 8 LCM bars for $5 or $4.
Right, Oreos are right up there.
Yeah, but what's I feel like Oreos would have a lot of fat in them, would they? You don't know.
I don't know about fat. I know the carbs and sugar are like bang on for what you
that's
want.
Good.
The only problem is, so you got to have 9 jelly beans per serving, and you got to have 2 servings an hour. So 18 jelly beans is a lot.
Yeah,
18 jelly beans, and I think you need to have 5 Oreos per serving.
Yeah, okay.
So you're having 10 Oreos or 18 jelly beans every hour. You have Oreos before jelly beans because they're like more complex to break down. And dude, I went from having gels and shitting my pants to like, I'm just going to eat anything that I can, that is like suitable. So I was like, I've sort of played with like dates. I don't mind dates.
Dates have lots of fiber, so you got to watch your guts.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of dates anyway.
I thought dates were like the go-to. But if all you fueled off was dates, I think you get pretty upset gut.
Yeah.
I think.
So I'm also looking at, so I found out yesterday marathon starts at 6:30.
Yeah.
So you're going 6:30, let's say worst case scenario, to 10:30. So and based off the weather that we're having right now, I mean, you would be.
I think you're going to be sweet,
finishing the run like now.
Yeah.
So it's a day like today, like you're going to start at like say 12 degrees-ish or 15 degrees and work your way to like 25. So as far as like losing fluids, probably not going to be horrible.
Nah.
Do you have any like electrolyte mix that you use as well?
Yeah. I use I think they're called bulk supplements bulk supplements. They're the cheapest you can really get. Hey, and they're like, people get caught up in like, oh, that's not the cleanest magnesium and like, or like, I don't really care. I just want salt in me.
Yeah.
But bulk nutrients is really good. Like they've got a hydration salts one, which is 1,000 milligrams of sodium per serving.
Sodium, that's what I was trying to think of.
Yeah. And it's like $45 and it's like 50 servings. Whereas like everything else is like $60 for 30 servings.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, I find them the best. A lot of they have like carb mixes. It's like 2 kilos for $40. Like it's cheap and it's good.
Interesting.
But yeah, keep your fuel up for your run, for your mara.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking I'm probably going to
because I think they have Powerade at the aid stations and that.
Yeah, they got this brand
Tailwind.
Yeah. Apparently they're meant to be really good.
Yeah.
But I've got
full endurance.
I've got the nerd belt. You seen those?
Yeah.
So I've got a nerd belt. I think what I'm going to do is like start with nothing, and then get the belt handed to me because you come from Runners Club down here, lap of the swamp. So I'll probably grab the belt after the lap. So you're like 15, 20 minutes in.
Yeah.
And then you go back up the lighthouse, up Jetty Road and back.
Is it the same course as last year?
Yeah. Yeah, it's up Jetty Road, up to Dolphin Discovery Centre, back, lap of the inlet, back to the Runners Club. That's 21K.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking if I could get the belt after the first lap of the swamp and then just get the bottles changed out, water along the way, and you can pick up food satchels during the run as well. So
you'll be sweet.
I reckon I'll be pretty comfortable.
Yeah.
You just have to run with a belt on, which is the worst thing ever.
You'll be right. You won't even be thinking about it. It's such a good day. I did it last year, but I was violently hungover. We had a football function on, like a dress up.
Oh yeah,
and my mate was doing it. He was racing it, and I was just there because I got a ticket. And I think I maybe had an hour's sleep or 2 hours sleep. And I was having a shower in the morning. My heart rate was like 130. It's just like, oh no, I'm up against it. I got a PB somehow. But
did you do half or full?
Half, yeah. I've never done a full mara. Does interest me one day. It's just like, as you're going through now, like it's a big block. Like it's pretty hard on the body.
Yeah. Yeah, so, it is substantial.
Yeah. And like, remember you asked me, like, why do people not run 42 Ks in training? It's like, because it's hard on the body. And if you're not conditioned for it, it's a lot.
Yeah. So I'm doing a run with a bloke this weekend. He's doing 28. I'm doing 24.
Yeah.
I think the longest he's ever run is 15.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, it's going to fuck up your day.
Yeah, it'll be heavy.
It'll be fine. I'm like, no, I'm telling you. I'm not saying like you might have a bad day. I'm saying you're going to have a bad day.
Yeah, it's a lot. Like running's really hard on the body. And I'm not educated. Like what is it? Not a public service announcement or warning when you're like.
Yeah, PSA, don't do what I do.
Nah, like as in disclosure. I'm not qualified to talk about this. I'm an electrician. But running's super hard on the body and that marathon block, like one of my best mates, Cade, he's done a few marathon blocks and done some good times, and to see the like numbers he does and the niggles he gets and stuff, I'm like, that's not that interesting to me. It's hard. Yeah.
I must admit, like you don't like focus on after the thing, but I definitely do have a thing of like, what happens once I've done it? Yeah. Am I a marathon runner now or? Because I don't think
you definitely have the running bug for sure. As in, you can't. Speaking from my experience, it's hard to get away from it. And like you say, you have a rest day and now you're twitchy. Yeah, and that'll hang around for a while.
I don't know. Like I'm sort of like I'd like to get into cycling, but then I also wouldn't.
Yeah, get a bike. I say,
dude, you don't want me on a bike. You could probably beat me running. You never beat me riding. I promise you.
No arguments there. I don't doubt that at all. I'm the most average cyclist. Like,
where'd the crossover happen for you? Like, how'd you end up on a bike? Because as a dude, it's very hard to cross over into most cyclists are hated. You got to wear Lycra, and it's very expensive.
Yeah, well, especially growing up motorbikes and then downhill, I just thought people who wore Lycra probably sip cups of tea and eat scones. Now I sip cups of tea and eat scones. Nah, I actually went through my breakup and like that was pretty dark. And then I had my Denham King, who's the captain of the football club, just messaged me one day. He said, "Oh, do you want to do the Bunbury Tri?" Which they didn't do this year, which is a shame, but they did it last year. And I was sort of sitting around just running and I was like, why not? And then to do the Tri, I needed a bike. So I found a bike on Marketplace, bought that, and then I was hooked, And like growing up racing mountain bikes, then once I got on a road bike, I was hooked. Like, can't get me off it. Like tomorrow I've got 5 hours, go up the hills. Yeah. I'm riding with a bloke I never met before. He just messaged me on Strava, which is happening a lot. Like a lot of people were like, "Hey, want to go for a ride?" Or
sick.
Yeah, it's cool, man. Like just a community I never thought I'd be a part of. And
brother, I'm jealous.
Yeah, well, you need to get a bike, I reckon.
No, I'm jealous because when I was cycling, I was a fucking loser. It wasn't cool.
Well, that's what, Daniel Lloyd Smith.
Yeah.
Speaking
By the way, he started after me. That's how early I was cycling.
Yeah, you're an OG.
Yeah.
No, he was talking about it that in high school he played golf until he was like year 12, and then he transitioned to Leica. So he did the two gayest sports you could do. Like people used to be like, who would play golf? Who would ride bikes?
Yeah.
And now everyone plays golf and everyone rides bikes. As in gayest is the wrong term, but that's what in primary school, that's what you would have
gay's
called
coming
it.
back. You can, I think, dude. Well, my overtly gay hairdresser, like him and I rip gay jokes to each other. I'm like, well, fucking dude, can you give me the end pass as well, please? But no, I think, dude, I grew up as a speed skater.
Yeah. When did you stop doing that?
When?
Yeah.
The day I left Holland.
Which was?
10 days after my 18th birthday.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and just, I don't know what it was. Kind of similar to what you were saying before, I could see the type of person that was at the top, and I'm like, don't think I'm them.
Yeah.
But now when I look at how, I'm self-proclaimed savage in business. I have no rest days. I'm constant. I dream about business. Yeah. It's like,
it's good to be ambitious like that, I reckon.
Yeah, but I think
it makes it easier. It makes it not a job.
That's right.
Or
that's
chore,
right.
Sorry.
I'm never I woke up this morning at 3:45. I'm like, oh, that's late enough. I can get up. So I got up and did all of my to do shit before Riz got out of bed.
Yeah.
And it's like, to me, that's like a gift.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that the same way you're saying, to see everyone else struggling. It's not because you're trying to be humble. I'm not trying to say this because I'm trying to look like that person.
No, I get it.
I'm like, that's sick.
Yeah.
Print sheet's ready to go. Emails are done. Quoting's done. That big job that I was talking about when you got here, that's ready to go.
Yeah, sick.
That's fucking unreal, some mornings I've made so much money before the sun's come up. Yeah. You're like, dude, this is epic. Fucking perfect.
This is it.
If that had have translated back in time to that period, I would have been a world champion. I would have still been skating.
Yeah.
But I think because of that, and I class that now as like a respectable failure back then, I now don't have failure as an option in this endeavor, But I think going back to what we're talking about, I used to do figure skating as cross training for speed skating because it just sharpens your technique. So
is this on ice?
All on wheels.
Okay.
Yeah. So then the other cross training I did for skating was cycling. The weird part was I was probably as good at cycling as I was skating.
Yeah.
Skating's a very technical, precise thing. Cycling is just fucking ride hard.
Yeah.
Obviously sensibly. And then when I moved to Holland, it was like,
how'd you find Holland, by the way?
Awesome. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. It's like it's one of those things where I've been back to Holland a few times since, and it's it feels like home.
Yeah. Wow.
Because it was such a, I only child, left when I moved to Perth when I was 16. I lived there for a year, and then from there moved to Holland for a year.
Yeah.
So it's I was sort of, out.
Yeah.
But I was establishing myself, having all these first experiences,
Yeah, it's cool to do it so young though.
Yeah, yeah. And at the time, you don't think anything of it.
Nah.
You're like, and also you didn't have Instagram and Facebook and shit where you were comparing your life.
Yeah, for sure.
It existed, but it wasn't in the same context back then. Yeah. So it's having that, that weird correlation of being in Europe, having that experience, especially back then before Europe sort of turned to shit as an athlete, and then coming home and I remember having this identity crisis at, just over 18. I'm like, if I'm not a skater, then who am I?
Yeah.
I got to get a job. The fuck?
Yeah.
I used to laugh at people who had jobs because I was busy being paid to skate.
That's sick.
So interesting. And now sort of repeating myself, but I think I just have that athlete mentality of all right, we're doing 30 grand a month. How do we do 50 grand a month?
Yeah.
50 grand, how do we do 100 grand a month? And
I think if you're like that, you're just wired like that for life. You don't really get a choice, hey?
Yeah, yeah.
You can't really switch it off. Whether, like you say, you've transitioned from skating to business now, but you don't get a choice if you switch it off or not.
No. Yeah. And then you sign up for the marathon. It's I'm not signing up to finish it. I'm signing up to place.
I can't sign up just to do stuff. I mean, the Ironman was different because I've never done anything like that in my life. So you can't expect to sign. I couldn't expect to go to a darts competition and be I'm going to win.
Yeah.
But that's stupid, obviously. But I can have a go. And now, you just, don't know, roll with it and see how well you can go.
Do you have any hobbies that don't include cardiovascular activity?
Not at the moment. like I said, swinging back to the start of the conversation, I was the biggest nerd in high school. Like,
oh yeah, so
we're talking like minimum 20 hours a week, 25 hours a week gaming.
Really?
Yeah, like, and I used to do competitive quick scoping, which is
whoa, dude.
I know when I was like,
that might be the gayest thing you've said so far.
Yeah, exactly. I normally keep that under wraps, but I don't know, being open and vulnerable. I used to do ranked quick scoping and was pretty good, and would like get home and train. Practice, and just live on the Xbox, and then that transition to computer, and then I've still got a PlayStation now. I haven't turned it on in about 6 months, I reckon. I've turned it on for about an hour and got twitchy and turned it off. But massive nerd. And then now, I don't know, like I still love, it's probably all cardiovascular. Like I'm not playing footy this year, but that was my whole life, hey?
Yeah.
Just taking a step back from it and trying to travel a bit and focus on this Ironman. So
yeah. So you are training again for another?
Yeah, I'm going, trying to get a ticket to France. So they do a 30 ticket allocation. The winner of every age group gets the offer, and then if the winner doesn't take it, it gets offered to second and third. And then if they don't take it, it gets put back in the pool for the roll down, which is handicap. So I got a 4:39, and a 50-year-old bloke who got a 5-hour 51. He was actually positioned in front of me because of his handicap. So it's like you're all competing. Well, you're all against each other. It's not like, because it's unfair that someone in their prime is competing against someone who's 55 or whatever.
Yep.
So they handicap it, and I think they divide your time by a multiplier or a division, and then you get a roll down. And I missed out by about 5.5 minutes this year, which like I didn't know if I was going to get one, but I was just trying to get sub 5 hours, and it wasn't until I got my time I went, oh, maybe I'm a chance. But now that's got me hooked, and I'm 100% trying to go to France this year. Like,
so do you have to compete again to get
that?
Yeah. Okay.
So every single Ironman in the world, everyone that is run, Ironman and 70.3, they hand out tickets.
Yep.
You got to earn them.
Yep.
And then they have worlds, so they do it in France, in Nice for 70.3. So it's like there's just about an Ironman every single weekend, like around the world, and then 30 people from each single one all meet at France, and then they all race.
Wow.
But France, like, I'm not there to win France, or like it'll be.
You're going to do it.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be a holiday, and like my best friend's parents are going to come, and my parents are going to come, and my best mates are going to come. So it'll be like a little holiday with me in the middle, just bumming around, doing a little ride and a run and a swim.
Crazy.
So, but I've got to get there. So the back end of this year will be pretty heavy. I'm going to be off the piss for about 6 months, I reckon. No beers at all.
Yeah.
And lock in. So
is that to compete Basso again and go in?
Yeah.
You wouldn't compete in any other location to try and get the time?
There's only a couple in Oz, and they don't really line up with my schedule this year. Right. I leave to go to Europe in just under a month for a couple of months, so training will be out the window. I'll be trying to get 1 or 2 runs in a week and probably not riding at all, which is fine. So when I get back in middle of June, then it'll kick off, and I've got 6 months to lock in.
Yeah.
And that's why no beers now, like no beers, because I'm just like a all or nothing bloke on the PSA. Like it's...
I do. I relate.
Yeah. It's like I can go down and have 1 or 2, but like if I go down and have 1 or 2 and then I bump into someone who's having a big one or whatever, I just get sucked in. Like, there seems to be no off switch, and especially at the moment, like no job. I've just been traveling. Like there's just no off switch. So I've just decided once I get back from Europe, that's it.
I believe in seasons,
cold turkey, like until December.
You should fully, and like especially, I'd say I'm probably weaning off it now. Like, but I think like especially in your 20s, definitely have off seasons, but definitely have on seasons.
Yeah, no, I've had my fair share of on seasons.
Just fucking hammer it, eh?
Yeah, Canada. I just got back from Canada, and that was heavy. That was like drinking like I've never drunk before. It was. I think I was there the first 5 days. Was just an absolute write-off. Yeah. And I realised I've only drunk 1 bottle or 2 bottles of water in 5 days. So
fuck.
I was in the mirror. I was like, fuck, you still look pretty skinny, eh? I was like, yeah, because you're just dehydrated. Like, you've got nothing. But no.
That's funny as 2 bottles of water in 5 days is a headache.
Yeah, no, it was like, I can't even describe it. Like, and everyone who's been to Banff's probably the same, but it was just wake up at 1, 2 o'clock in the arvo, have a shower. Oh, wake up at 10, 9, go up the hill, snowboard, hungover. So you'd go to the pub to feel better.
Yeah.
Keep snowboarding, come down, get home. Then at the hostel I was staying at, they had a bar that opened at 4. So you'd be at the door at 4 because that's when happy hour starts.
Right.
$4 beers, stay there until whatever. Then you go out till 3.
Yeah.
Come home, sleep. And yeah, it was just hectic. And yeah, I think once I do this Europe trip, which will be probably no different to be honest. I'm going with one of my best mates, and we're not going there to
fuck around.
Yeah, it'll be a good send. But when I get back, it'll be all over Red Rover till the end of the. And I don't really drink outside of social setting. Like I don't. We got beers in the fridge that will probably sit there until they go off, or until we have a kick-ons or something like that. Like we just don't.
You do that thing where you bring out 6 different beers. Like, does anyone want any of these?
Anyone want any of these? This is 0% Great Northern.
Yeah.
But lock into and try and qualify to go to France.
Yeah.
But who knows? You can, like, so much can go wrong on the day as well. But
that's the thing I've got with this marathon training is like, dude, just get me there without any injuries.
Yeah.
You know, and just like no roadblocks, no speed bumps, just get me to the day.
You'll be sweet. If you're like in the position of like go for a 10K run and you're happy, then you'll be sweet. Like that's a big win and big position to be in. Like,
I feel like comfortable now, and knowing that usually race day vibes, you do a little bit better again.
Yeah.
That's all right. Just don't go out and sit on 4-minute pace for the first 10Ks and I'll be fine.
Pace it, yeah. You'd rather do 4-minute Ks for the last 5Ks than 4-minute Ks for the first 5Ks. Yeah.
For sure.
You can always make up time.
I tell you what, I'm getting definitely getting a new pair of Novas.
Yeah.
For like a run before, and then so I got the have I shown you the Nova Blast I got?
New ones, those ones there.
They're my old ones. Then I got like the Run Tokyo special ones.
Yeah.
They've got solid material laces. The toe box feels like it's a different material.
Yeah, okay.
Like the base is the same.
So you're not wearing plated shoes for the run?
You tell, should I?
It depends if your feet can put up with it. Yeah, I think they're great. But they're you don't want to use them too often, but they're great. Yeah, you'll get into them and be like, "What the fuck are these?" Like you feel like it's cheating. You do.
So when you say if your feet can put up with them, what does that mean?
Because they're just not built like it's like a Lamborghini versus a 300 series. 300 series built for comfort, like built really nice. Like, and that's. This is a weird example to turn it into a 300 series, but your shoes there, let's call that a 300 series and call the Asics Meta Speeds a Lamborghini. So the Lamborghini's great, goes really fast, not really practical, only really good for one thing, and probably not that comfortable, especially if you're a bigger guy or like you're not built for it, not flexible. So they are quite hard on the feet, but they do, and it could be a placebo thing too, just that little bit of extra energy return, and you think you're going so much faster.
Yeah, okay.
But then, like, if you haven't used them and whatever,
that's probably the big thing that's like ringing in my mind is like you're going to try something new on that day.
Yeah. I just didn't know what you were doing.
Nah, so I've actually, you're pretty like instrumental through my shoe journey because like you're the first person I knew that knew about shoes, and I got into like the New Balance 1080s.
Yeah, you didn't like them, They weren't good for your foot.
Can't even walk around town in them.
Wow, that's crazy.
Like it's nuts. They're like my token white shoe that I wear on a Saturday morning.
Yeah,
and I get home, I'm like, thank God.
Wow, that's crazy.
And they're expensive good shoes.
Yeah, I know. And I like heaps. I don't run them, but heaps of people I know.
Yeah.
Or heaps of people you see online love them to bits.
Yeah, and they're a fucking fashionable, popular shoe. Fashionable in running. So then I was like, I think I did like 400 Ks in those. Like I need a new pair of shoes. So I got the Nova Run Tokyos.
Yeah, they're like white and red, eh?
No, they're the same. They're a bit brighter orange than that. They got like a Japanese green pattern on the back. They're fun, you know. Yeah. But I think they're like they have the original Novas have like an elastic lace, so the pressure finds where it needs to go.
Yeah.
But I find these other ones, like with the material base, they're just solid. And the toe box is just a little bit narrower.
Okay.
So I got a whole new range of blisters, new toenails that are dying.
Yeah.
So it's like, I just want like a standard pair of fucking Nova Blast, just normal.
Asics are I'll die on that hill. The Asics are the best shoes.
Fully.
Yeah.
Fully.
And like, that's what works for my foot and that's what works for me. But
yeah,
I just can't. I've tried other brands, not every brand, but tried a lot of other brands, and yeah, they're the best, I think, especially daily runners.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
I'm at the point, I'd almost buy a pair of Novas, like black Novas to wear, like for work shoes. They're so comfortable, you know?
Yeah, I got the Megas and the Supers and they're just awesome.
Dude, Megas and Supers together worth like $700, just those.
We don't talk about the price of shoes.
Yeah.
I've got some money in shoes that I'm slowly teetering off because I've been just buying cycling kit instead. But I've just started entering the world of Chinese shoes now.
Dude.
They're on the way. I should be here probably, what's today? Tuesday. Should be here on Thursday.
I'm keen to hear.
See how they go. Yeah.
Do you follow that kid in Mora or something?
Yeah. So that a guy at the cycle club, he was onto him he just brought him up one day and we were like, sort of like, yeah, whatever, talking about how these Chinese brands, they do all like the experimental foam and like all the stuff that the big brands will do like a year later.
Yeah.
And everyone was sort of like, yeah, like, and then he swears by them. And then Josh Padley got some, he loves them. So I've jumped on, but it's like $60,
dude.
For a carbon plated tempo shoe. It's like, what the hell? And then like the super shoes are like 140.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. If I was any earlier on that train, because like I reckon I found out about Homeboy maybe like the week after I got my second pair of Novas, and it's like, oh,
he's big on them, hey, that guy.
Yeah. Well, I like how he goes, if you like this Asics, you like this Chinese shoe. It's like, oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
You know, and also like, is in his bio, I think he's got like his 5K, 10K,
he's
20K.
Quick.
Yeah, it's like this kid
real
runs
quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I didn't follow him when he was a small content creator, but I remember first time I found, like, he come up, he only had just over 1,000 or 2,000 followers, and I think he's got 30 something now.
Yeah, wow.
But he rips, like, he was just running out in the bush, like ripping in the bush.
Yeah, interesting.
Just on gravel roads.
Do you follow that dude with the big mullet, black hair mullet? He's super quick. I think he's like national champion 5K.
Oh, yeah. And he's got maybe funky teeth.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he's rapid. But he is national runner. Yeah, he's a national 10K-er, I think. And for Australia,
Yeah, and he's, I don't know, if he shaved his hair off and like painted him black, he looks like a runner. He looks like a marathon runner.
To be fair, he looks like a bit of a fucking weirdo with his haircut, I reckon.
Yeah, he looks super weird.
I don't know. I look at him, I'm like, just shave it off and you'll look elite. But
dude, the amount of people,
you get to do what you want, really.
If you get a good haircut,
I got a bowl cut, so I can't really say much about haircuts, to be honest.
Dude, it's funny, I I cut off my my plait February last year, and then went to like the shaggy George style hair for the longest time, and then just got like short back and sides, and I want to go all the way to a fucking buzz cut. Like, I feel like the more hair I take off, I'm like, what was I doing?
I'd love to do buzz cut, but I think my head's just a fucked shape, to be honest.
You reckon?
Yeah, I think that's why this just kind of works at the moment.
What gives you like a rounder shape?
It just fits my head. Because I remember when I was about 15, we went to Victoria and it was my auntie's 40th birthday or something like that, and we were allowed to have a few drinks, and I don't know, we probably had 3 beers and pretended like we were maggot. This is before I reckon I might have been 14, like just about turned 15. And I think I had about 3 beers and just pretended like I was maggot.
Sick.
And we got the like cattle clippers out because they're dairy farmers as well. And I was like, I want a Dusty Martin haircut. So I had like no idea what the length was. It was whatever these cattle clippers thing. I had this mohawk. One was shaved back here, and then one came down like here. I was like completely lopsided. And I went to a private school, a semi-private, Bunbury Catholic, and first day, walked in, everyone was like, what the fuck is that? And then I've gone to we had an assembly that day, and I just got a tap on the shoulder, and they were like,
go home.
No, you can't have that here. It was pretty grim, So, and then I got a shaved dome because I couldn't do anything with it. It was just so short that that's what it was. And then, I just don't think I could do it. Dude,
you were scarred from an experience.
I know, But I just think, I don't know. You don't know until you know. One day I might shave it when I don't need to. Maybe when I get back from Europe, when I'm just not trying to impress anyone, I'm just locked in.
Yeah.
And my hair grows so fast that it probably doesn't matter. But
dude, I've got a fucking obviously big tattoo on the side of my head. I got a tattoo on the back of my head.
Yeah.
It says, hate my heart, love of my mind, with a heart in the middle of it. That's what I'm scared of everyone seeing. That's
yeah, but I think you're at a point, you're tattooed. I think you get to a point where it doesn't matter anymore. Like,
dude, it's what my mum says. She's like, because I got like ridiculous tattoos. If you look closely, there's a lot of ridiculous ones. She's like, you're worried about that on your head when you've got this on your leg and that on your arm. And I'm like, yeah, I am worried still, because your head is like someone's standing behind you in line at Barlow and they're like, hate in my heart, love. Who does that? You know?
Yeah, I think that's a good thing about tattoos though. You don't really, it's to you, I guess. Unless you want to get it lasered off and you regret it. But
all right, I'll pop quiz you. Tell me any tattoo that Connor has on his arm.
No idea.
Any tattoo
they're all
that
traditional.
Croft has on his leg. Croft has on his leg.
Croft has one. Is it a horseshoe? He definitely has one. I can't remember it now, so I can't say that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Right?
Yeah.
Like any tattoo that George has, any tattoo that Aiden has. I couldn't tell you. I know that fucking George has a ka-chow like right above.
That's sick.
You know? Love that. Like outside of the ridiculous ones like that. It's like.
Yeah. Tattoos are great. I love tattoos.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm stoked. I'm getting all my gaps filled in.
Yeah. Is that a new one on the inside there though?
This here?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Ya Allah Habibi. We got it in Lebanon.
Okay.
George and I got matching ones.
Yeah.
So it means, oh my God, baby.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm getting all my gaps filled 3 days after the marathon.
Sick.
It's going to be a bad week for pain, but
after
that week, I'll be complete.
They'll be done.
Like a marathon, 2 full sleeves.
Have you got a full bodysuit? No.
I'm missing this.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and then like my right leg's pretty much done, but like arse is done, back's done, neck, arms, most of my front.
What was the worst?
Feet by far.
Yeah, that's what feet and like fingers people reckon suck.
Yeah, I think see weird spots like in here, they're pretty gnarly. From memory, the back of my neck was real bad, like in these soft parts here.
Yeah.
Like the ears of this fucking cat that I've got. But yeah, and over the spine. Like it's all those moments that you're like, oh, that's fucking horrific. You know, they're the ones that stand out. But top of the feet are just But chicks seems to not.
Yeah, chicks are weird with tattoo pain.
Yeah,
like I've had a few exes get tattoos and they're like, oh, it doesn't hurt, and then they get one and they're like, oh, that killed, and it doesn't line up with anything I've heard before. Yeah, but I think chicks probably have a better pain tolerance than a lot of blokes, to be honest. Yeah, Riz sent me a thing the other day saying about how how comparable childbirth and running a marathon is. I'm like, you run a fucking marathon then. Show me what you got. Yeah, trust. I'd probably rather run 5 marathons than give birth to a child, but yeah, lucky if you don't have to go through that. Yeah, fortunately. So what's your dude? I was thinking, if you do rides on city bikes while you're in Europe, you'll probably get a crazy hill climbing capacity because you're riding like just
30
single gears.
Yeah, dude, a 30 kilo bike. Yeah, it's got like fucking gum and a wrapper stuck in the chain. I'm hoping to try and get to a gym and just do a bike session a fortnight or something. But it's so easy to say, and then you're in the moment, and just doesn't end up happening. Eh? So what's your vibe with like the world at the moment? Obviously, like everyone's bombing everyone. Yeah, I don't like getting too political on it because it gets me pretty flat, but try not to it's not that serious. Like the world we live in is not that serious. So I'm just trying to focus on that and not get too caught up in it. Like we're supposed to be, we are going to Europe now, but we're flying through Doha, which is completely closed. Yeah. Due to the war and everything that's horrible going on over there. It's just a power trip, I reckon. And and I love Australia more than any country in the world, but I also think we're just the stupidest nation in the world. You reckon? We're so resource rich, yet we rely on the rest of the world for everything. Oh, look at this. Oh, we run out of oil. Okay, well, Adelaide has the 3rd biggest oil basin on planet Earth. Yeah. We could be so rich. Yeah. We could have the biggest sovereign wealth fund. Yeah. What have we got? 28 days, that's what we've got. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We're relying on ships to come in with fuel. It's but I probably wouldn't want to live anywhere else, which I might be heading to do when I get back from Europe. I think I might be off for a bit. But live somewhere else? I think so, hey. Maybe move to Portugal or Italy or... Oh, the move to Japan. Something like that. Yeah, but Japan's not that good for training. So I got to train for this
Ironman.
So would you be living at altitude?
Yeah, somewhat. There is altitude there. I've got no plan. Just somewhere that doesn't get too cold coming in. Like, because I'll hopefully maybe be moving there in July.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say all this because I don't actually know what's happening. But maybe in July moving to Europe and then staying there until maybe a couple of weeks before the Ironman. Come back and get acclimatized and try and rip the Ironman, eh?
Dude,
just somewhere.
Definitely.
Yeah. I just want to get out and do it. I got no kids, no missus, and no bills to pay. I'm renting at my mate's place now, so
dude,
do it whilst I got the money, and I got paid out for my redundancy, so I've got a bit of money to play around with and just go and see the world. To live my 18-year-old life when I'm 28.
I've been thinking about this lately, dude. Like, for the longest time, I could just do anything, eh? I could just go anywhere, do anything. Like, I've always had enough money to figure it out. And I've always been able to go, like, it costs me, like, a loaf of bread and a bottle of water to live every day. Yeah. If you don't think, like, it costs me a crayfish and a packet of cigarettes and all this other, and a Netflix. I've always been like, dude, I can live on this much.
Yeah, you can if you want to.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. And, you know, I really exercised every opportunity that I had pretty much all my 20s. Yeah. You know, like I talk about this shit all the time on the podcast. I don't know if you know, but like I did 30 days in Colombia, like sick by myself. That was when I first met Riz. Actually, I was like, this is the extent of what I had planned. I had a ticket to Colombia and I had a ticket home. No accommodation, no plan, nothing. Yeah. Got off the plane in Colombia and I looked at this dilapidated airport, and I was like, oh my God, I'm in a third world country. Yeah. I'm in South America. This is fucking, I'm walking off the plane on the runway to the terminal.
Colombia would be sick.
Dude, it's insane. Yeah. And I went from there to a fucking dude who definitely wasn't a taxi driver. Drove down the hill in, what's it called? Not Bogota, the other one. I'm not sure. Medellin. Yeah. I'm driving down, it's an hour from the airport down into Medellin. And like the one thing they say is do not get in an unmarked taxi. You get in taxis that say taxi on the side. You know they're a taxi because they're obviously a taxi. And I'm just in this car with this dude who's covered in scars and tattoos in like an unmarked shit. I'm just
waiting to wake up with no kidney or
brother,
something.
I'm on my way to death. You know what I mean? Like I'm on my way to a small room where they're going to not let me out until my family gives them money. Yeah. You know? And it's like that sort of shit. Every single opportunity you get to do shit like that.
And that's where I'm at the moment. Hey, like I'm just gonna go for it, and who knows? Like I got no idea. I got no plans. I've always been the go to work, come home, go to work, come home, go to work, come home guy. Like,
bro, have your heart.
As in, like,
it's worth it.
And I had like, went on holidays, went to Japan and Canada and that sort of stuff before, but it was always come home, go back to work, or come home, do this. So now I'm just gonna go out and. Like the accommodation's not too expensive, and I might just work in a bike shop or a coffee shop or at a bar, or like everything I work over there will just be spending money. So shouldn't cost me too much, so to say. But get to train whenever I want, hopefully, and like just live the life over there, explore, check Ryanair, see the cheapest flight, and head wherever. Like that's the dream at the moment.
While you're there as well, like everything's like a train right away.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know? Got arrested on a train going to Germany once. Good story.
Yeah, right. What was that? Something in your wallet?
No, overstayed my visa by 6 months.
I've heard of that actually. Oh, maybe not 6 months. I've heard people getting done pretty quickly,
Yeah, well, usually what you do is you'll like catch a flight to the closest place where you can be without leaving the EU and then come back. So you go there, get a stamp, spend a day and come back and you get another 90 days. Yep. But I was under the understanding that because I'm an athlete, I fell into a different rule set, you know, but no, that's not the case.
Like when you're young, you know everything.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I'm on this train, fucking arrested, hands behind my back, like, you know.
In Germany?
Yeah.
By yourself?
Yeah, fucking passport, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, what's going on? I'm like, I have all my stuff, had 3 bags of skating gear. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm going to the airport to fly out at Frankfurt. And they're like, all right, sweet. Well, if that's okay, but you got any proof of thing? I'm like, no, I'm buying a ticket at the airport. Like, I've got to go. I've overstayed my visa. I've got to go. Yeah. All right, well, going to trust that you do the right thing here. Uncuff me. Got my bags. Went to a competition. competed, and then bought my ticket at the train station. That's where I fucked up. I booked my ticket online.
Okay. So they knew where you were.
Name, passport number, da-da-da. And so that's flagged it. Because this is the thing, like, they fucking walked up to me on the train and knew who I was.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's crazy. Nuts. So, yeah.
Especially back then, like, facial recognition stuff probably wasn't that good. Whereas now you're getting tracked everywhere.
Yeah. No, this was like, and it was like, it wasn't a busy train. Like, it was an international train, you know, but it was like, literally they came up like, hey, can we look at your passport? Gave the passport. He's like, yep, this is him. I'm like, oh, I'm him.
Yeah.
Okay. And then next thing I know, like, come to where the carriages join. And yeah, they bloody put one handcuff on me, turn me around. I'm like, oh my God.
Did you get taken to the station?
Huh?
You get taken to the station.
This all happened on the train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But did they take you to the station?
No. They got off at the next stop. They uncuffed me and got off at the next stop.
Oh.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Because I think it was if I was whatever. Because you got to think at that point, they don't know
who you are, what you're doing.
What I'm doing. I'm like, dude, they're my bags.
Yeah.
You know, open the bag, it's just full of fucking blades
Skating
and wheels.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Your food review stuff, where's that going? Just for fun, or you want to just promote local business?
I like this.
Yeah.
You know, I like making content. I like talking.
It's fun.
Weirdly, I have like the ability to just continuously talk about stuff.
Yeah.
And like, if I can figure out a way to monetize this to the capacity of what Outfit Co's monetized at, I'd do this instead of that.
Yeah, for sure.
I like this, you know. But no, the Rose reached out to me. They asked me to do a food review. I was like, yep,
that's
sick.
cool.
And then you sort of like leverage everything off that, right? So that came because I've done all the toasty reviews, which came from doing all the coffee reviews.
Yeah.
That's sort of my where my question about the Osmo came up.
Yeah. Yeah, they're great cameras. The one that Cross got, the Pocket 3.
Yeah.
But no, I've just got a little action cam because it fits in my mouth when I ride. And it's got real good image quality, and it all links to your phone and links to my DJI mic, and it's just easy, hey?
Yeah, I just like the idea, like that thing of Cross, like you
Yeah.
turn the camera and it just like, then it shoots.
Yeah.
Fucking all right.
I'd love to get one. I've just been burning through cash in Canada, so I'll put it on hold for a bit. But yeah, you should actually, I don't know if how the Rose reached out to you, but have you seen the Capel Marin Farms open? No?
Oh, my mum went there last week.
Yeah.
So apparently it's pretty crazy.
That'd be a cool one.
I don't know, dude. It's one of those things I could probably just call up and be like, hey, I'm such and such.
Yeah, that would be a cool one. Because like no one even knows that it's like really opened. I think they did that on purpose though, so it wasn't like...
Didn't get bombarded,
yeah.
You get a chance to like go through their apprenticeship and tighten the tighten the screws.
It looks good. It looks real nice.
Maybe see. All right, here's what I'll do. I'll call them and say, hey, give me free food. I want one of everything, this and that. And then if they say yes, I'll go buy the Osmo, and then we'll start the content journey. Yeah.
That could be a play. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, being like, I think it's 900 for the creator kit where you get like the camera, the tripod, all this.
Yeah.
So it's like 900 is like, it's, you know.
Make sure you get the ND filter as well.
Oh, that's the
neutral density filter.
Right. And it cuts out like the harshness of your.
Yeah, it just like takes a lot of it takes a lot of the light off, so you can run the right frame rate to make it look realistic.
Right.
Because like, you know, if you use a phone in like broad daylight, there's no like motion blur. It's like the hand is exact. So if you have a neutral density filter, it'll dull it right down. And it'll slow the frame rate down. So you can run it in manual, and then you'll do like 25 frames a second at 50. I can't remember what it's called, but you do half the frame rate of your shutter speed.
Right. Yeah. Of your aperture.
Yeah. No, FPS and shutter speed are different. Frames per second and shutter speed, I believe. I'm pretty sure it's like my GoPro or my DJI is 25, and then I run it at 1/50th. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
1/50 at 25 frames, because that gives you the natural motion blur. So when your hand goes past the camera, you see it like
how you would see
it
your eyes
in
would
person.
see it.
Yeah, and that's what they shoot cinematography in. But they might do 100 frames per second at 200, 1/200. So
what's it meant to be? Your frames per second is meant to be 50% of your shutter speed.
Shutter speed, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. And that's how you get natural motion blur. But you can't do it. You can't really do it unless you've got neutral density filters, because it'll be too bright. because your shutter speed's so low, you'll be letting in too much light. And then with your frames per second, that's just how it works. You need an ND filter, really.
Interesting.
They're only, and for the pocket, they're pretty cheap, maybe like $80.
And you buy it once and you got it.
Yeah, and they just magnet onto the lens.
Interesting.
Yeah. So if you ever do get it, get them.
Oh, dude,
you can't film in broad daylight with them without it. Like indoors, you're probably fine. But,
we did that. It's crazy actually. That food review is like 15 minutes. That was an hour and a half of content.
How quickly does, like, I'm making these silly Instagram reels every day for my fitness page, and you just get all this content and you put it all in, and it's like, oh, it's 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, I have to make this less than 3 minutes. It's like, where did all that come from?
Even like I did Carmelo's podcast. That was a 4-hour podcast. And to come up with 4 15-second to 30-second clips, you're like,
where do I start?
What story am I telling?
Yeah.
You know, like usually with the clips, first clip I post, I try and introduce the guest. Like, you know, we'll talk about like, you know, being an only child, that like connection to that. Then you go, here's a story of theirs, here's a story of mine, and here's something that like a joke that we both laughed at. And that's the clips that I'll post.
Yeah.
Brother, it's so hard to identify them. Like,
I love Carmelo, he's a legend.
He is.
We went to TAFE together.
Oh, really?
Yeah, same TAFE year.
Interesting. Yeah, dude, how weird is it? Like the further you go through in Bunbury, the more you realise like everyone is connected to everyone.
Oh, mate, everyone is connected to everyone. When I was like in Canada, long story short, there was these blokes in my room, and I didn't see them for the first 2 days because every time I was home, they were out partying. And then when I went to the hill, they were in bed hungover with their curtains closed. And then on the third day, I met them in the bar. Like I was sitting at the bar with my mate, and then these two guys, and I was like, I haven't met anyone from my room yet. Like they're always in there, like either partying or they're hungover. Like, what room are you in? I was like 302, and they were like, that's us.
Yeah, sick.
And then Brad, one of the guys there, he's like real good mates with my best friend's brother-in-law. So I was just like, what? And then we're like sending him photos, like, So Teal is one of my best friends. His brother-in-law is James, and this guy below me in the bunk, like real close friends.
No way.
I was just like, the world is too small, man. Like, yeah.
Oh, dude, I got to a hostel in Colombia, and fucking the lady's taking me out. It was a beautiful hostel. It's like a 15-story hostel.
Hostels are cool, eh?
Yeah.
I'd never stayed in one until...
Dude, the best.
Yeah. You just meet so many people. Like, as in, it's not the best living situation, but, geez, I struggle... Well... Depends on the holiday, but I struggle to stay in hotels and stuff, especially solo. Like,
yeah,
it's nice for a day or two.
When you're traveling with your missus, you got to stay.
I would rather not holiday than probably stay in a hostel with my missus. But
yeah, but no, we the chick you check in and then they take you up to the room and go like, there's the toilet, there's the thing. Dude, we get to the lift, the fucking door opens. The chick that I had seen in the past, her fucking brother was in the lift, and I'm like, Is someone fucking with me? Like, what's going on? Like, not just like a Bunbury person, but like this dude like specifically.
Very, very close to you.
Yeah. And then it's like, all right, we're you and I are partying as hard as we can for the next 5 days. Are you ready? He's like, yeah. Fuck yeah. Well, he didn't like me before that.
I was about to say,
we're real good mates now.
That's good.
So good. Yeah. Anyway, I reckon we've
rambled on for long enough.
We got 2 hours in the bag.
Wow.
Piece of piss.
Gone like, I don't know, something that goes very fast, gone like nothing.
You don't have any questions for me?
I got to make up a big sign for your run so I can have it holding it out.
Yeah, big sign.
Try and get a photo, and it will just say big sign on it.
Yeah, nothing to do with me, just big sign.
No, we're trying to, like I said, I'm unemployed until I go to Europe, so if you ever want an easy run or...
Yeah,
I'm trying to return to fitness before I leave, so... Try and get as many Ks in as I can.
Dude, there's a couple options there. There's like...
Yeah, it looks like a good training block.
Actually, those tempo blocks, so this week is 3 times 10 at 4:45?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, they're my favourite runs.
10 minute?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. They're so much fun.
And they go fast like that.
Yeah.
Like you don't even think.
The first, interval tempo shit I did... I've gone out way too fast on the first one because I've done so many long, slow runs.
Yeah.
And finally I get to do a fast run. So first tempo, I'm sitting on 350.
Yeah.
Cooked. Second one, just hung on. Third one, popped halfway.
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't know if I can do these tempos. Next time I went out and just sat on the time I was meant to sit on.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is cool. Week after that, I ran 2 minutes too long on the first interval because I was just like, oh, I feel so good. I'm just not going to check. I looked down, oh my God, like I've gone through my rest period for after this. And now they're like weirdly like, you know.
Nah, they're the best, I reckon.
Yeah, so good.
You start off hating them and then they become the best.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's because you're right in the middle of like a long run and feeling fast.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably a fair point.
Yeah. All right, let's wrap this up. Thank you very much for coming on the podcast.
Thanks for having me on. Long time listener, first time podcaster.
First time talker.
First time talker, yeah. Is that what they say?
Fucking oath. All right, guys, you heard it here first. Be good to your mum because we are out. And boom, how was that? Fresh podcast with Hamish. Dude's awesome. Got to really get to know him in the podcast, as you can tell. Sorry about the haircuts, a little bit abrasive, I know. Look, if you haven't already, check out my latest upload. Did a food review at the Rose in Bunbury. Checked out the new Friday Fiesta Mexican menu. Super fun. And what else is fun is the idea of doing more of those food reviews. I've actually got this brand new camera that I'm talking into right now, so I can do more of that. So if you have a food review recommendation, somewhere that you would like me to vlog, please reach out in the DM, drop me a comment below, and keep supporting the thing that I'm doing. Thanks.